1999年の7月終わらないんだよ。20日に世界が終わる。いい？今から飛ぶのよ。力を取り戻すために、世界を救うために。20日に世界が終わる。突然なんてありません。やっていていいのでしょうか。世界が生まれた時から定められたことなのです。
聞くがよい。世界は20日で動くものどもよ。これは紛れもない真実だ。
全てを知り、そして全てを知らない間宮君が
君と出会ったあの日のことを僕は今でもはっきりと覚えているんだよ。胸ドキドキ期待半分手に汗握る瞬間のあなたと出会ったあの日のことを私は今でも覚えているの。冬の足音聞こえる駅の改札人何か気分け現れた頭くるくる息苦しくて心が高鳴る響かせたいよ響かせたいのこの愛言葉君に伝えたいことが伝えられないほどに思い溢れ目と目見つめ合ったまま恋に落ちてくなくした季節取り戻すために嘘を重ねて二人で共に歩いてく恋物語君と僕の私とあなた二人をつなぐ遠くて近い固い絆けど切ない愛言葉桜舞う夜にもう一度夢を見よう現実を脱ぎ捨て花になろう遥かな風のささやき耳を澄ませばフラッシュソフトプラスワン合言葉
Hello, and welcome back to Aikotoba. And let's get started with today's read-through. Okay, this one, I think. 1 a.m. Sounds about right. The silver world reflecting the sunlight is so clear, it feels refreshing. But it snowed a lot in just one night. Stepping out into the yuki, I felt a pleasant crunch through the soles of my waterproof leather shoes. Snow does fall in Osaka, but it felt heavier compared to Sendai's. Maybe because once it starts snowing here, it just keeps going. And all I ever see is dirty black slush afterward. Literally the state here right now. Anyway. It feels kind of nostalgic. I'm so happy to feel the snow again after all this time. I can't help but stomp on the fresh powder like a dog or kid over and over. Closest thing I can compare it it too is the feeling of popping bubble wrap, making sure not a single white spot's left, leaving my playgrounds alone in the untouched snow. After playing to my heart's content and wiping the sweat from my brow, I noticed a group of kids in kindergarten uniform staring at me. Alright, all clear. I don't even know what's wrong with me. I just said that to hide my embarrassment. Then, like running away, I headed to my kaisha. I headed to Uzuki's Gakoen site. First thing in the afternoon, of course, for work. On the way to being led to the conference room by a staff member, something suddenly caught my attention. It's awfully quiet today. The school usually buzzes with the unique chaos students create, but today it's as silent as a frozen winter lake. Yeah, it was just a closing ceremony today. Without students, it's as quiet as you see. Oh. Unfortunately, adults don't get like free time unless they apply for that. Except that in Japan, you don't get that. If you're a regular salary man, that is. Anyway. Right. Yeah. Is it really that time of year already? So, there's no chance of running into Uzuki today. I'm relieved, but also a little disappointed. Well, considering what happened after. I keep nodding along through the small talk, but my head's still replaying last night, even after a whole day. It feels like a yume. But the heat of her breath as I kiss Uzuki, the vivid impression of her glistening eyes, it was all far too intense. Is something wrong? The school staff member stopped and looked at me. The conference room was right ahead. No, yeah, I was just thinking that there's probably still more snow to come. Well, yeah, it might rain more than usual this year. Might be tough with so much outdoor work. Please be careful where you step. Thanks for worrying about me. I plastered on a business smile, thanked him profusely, and as the friendly-looking staff member returned my grin, I reached for the conference room door. Be careful where you step. You're right. Dwelling yesterday won't do any good. We'll only mess things up. Huh. It's already this late. After being stuck in the overheated conference room for hours, the cool air of the hallway feels refreshing. Even though I was worried about today's schedule being affected by the time, I checked both my work and personal ketai for any missed calls or messages. A few voice calls from work, plus a notification from Aikotoba. The name displayed is Yozora. That's Uzuki. I handled the call from work first, then nervously opened the message.
今日もお仕事お疲れ様です。もし都合がつくようでしたら会えませんか?
The text was later stamped with a seal of an Iso red fox. What is that? Anyway. I'm happy to think about those days when we couldn't meet. But honestly, with the memories of last night still so vivid. Wait, what do you mean? I'm happy to think about those days when we couldn't meet? Anyway, I don't even know what face to make when I see you again. Sorry, it's going to be tough today. Work's piled up, so I might only be free after 10 p.m. or later. Not gonna lie. Maybe later I'm gonna take a break for dinner and then I'm gonna work for another hour and then I'm gonna come back reading this. I'm just reading right now because I feel so tired, but I still have some work to do. Fuck. Anyway. How about this? It's not a lie. Then a swamp will work.
それなら明日はどうでしょうか。
A little after I replied, the message came true. And not today, then tomorrow. And not tomorrow, then the day after. He said with a relentless push and an overwhelming vibe. I stared blankly at the screen, wondering what to do, when a new message popped out right in front of me.
ちょうどクリスマスイブですし、
Christmas Eve.
クリスマスイブですし。
It's a time for couples, you know. Except some people work in Christmas, and then, you know, in a certain timeline, some guy was out on a date with his girlfriend. Then this girlfriend of his, they were about to do the deed. She read a magazine involving another girl the guy like back in the past. She went ballistic, and this guy decides to go to his internship to find that one workaholic woman, voiced by Yu Asakawa. But anyway, let's continue. She gets spamming me. Her appeal is insane, or rather, she's just really strong. Go man. I had plans with her that day.
彼女いないですよね。
She replied to my Jordan in seconds.
いなかったですよね。あれ？
Wait, what? The translation is getting worse here, man. After reply, I guess she got anxious because another message came right away. Maybe that was a bit mean. Timing and speed are everything with jokes. Jordan, I'm free. And this time, there was a longer gap.
今ひどい嘘をつかれました。
本当にごめんなさい。
本当に反省していますか？反省しているならクリスマスは私に付き合ってください。
Christmas. A narwhal. And an angry stamp. I forgot what a narwhal looks like. I'm not gonna search right now. I can't keep running forever, with a promise hanging over me. More than anything, spending Christmas alone would be boring. But if I spend it with my Kazuku, got it. Then I'll see you in the evening at our usual spot.
すごく嬉しいです。クリスマス楽しみにしてますね。あ、書き忘れてました。今日は昨日よりも冷え込むらしいです。風邪をひかないように気をつけてください。お仕事もほどほどに。
Try not to sleep with your stomach out like that, okay?
出しません。
I glanced at the return message and gave a faint smile and pocketed my smartphone. I really hate the problem with the LLMs right now. They can't figure out context. I think I have an idea, but not right now. Savoring the satisfaction of having a Kyodai-like conversation for the first time in ages, I headed back to work. Shigoto. It was almost midnight when I finally unlocked my bedroom door and collapsed onto the bed, still in the same state as it when I came home. Oh shit, that's gonna be me later. Except I'm already home, but I'm working at home. Fuck. Anyway. I'm tired. No matter how much I argue, there's no voice to acknowledge my efforts, and just the softness of the bed accepting me. I wanted to say she's the partner I'll spend my life with, but reality is that she's a local wife in Sendai. Maybe she's tired. Yeah, probably just tired. What the fuck are we talking about here? Give me a second. Let me retranslate this because what the fuck? What are we talking about here? Ah, fuck. It was a little while back during overtime. The moment I saw the wrap box hanging from the office Christmas tree, it suddenly hit me. Question: what's in that box? Answer: it's a Christmas present. The moment I got there, I bolted out of the office and ran towards the shopping area around Sendai Ikimae, panic and slipping in the icy pavement. I took a spectacular fall. Wait, what are we talking about? On top of that, the shops were already mostly closed. What a disaster. But then in some run-down alleyway, I found this totally out-of-place stylish little boutique. It was like divine intervention. I hope she's happy. Or maybe I hope she'll be happy. I'm guessing that's he's talking about he bought a Christmas present for her. Like, he got out of work and realized, oh shit, it's Christmas. I haven't bought her a present. I think that's what's happening right now. The translations are getting worse by the second. Considering the circumstances, I think it was a good choice. Besides, putting recent complicated matters aside, I want to see Uzuki happy. If I'm meeting her on Kurismasu, then the whole you have to be in a relationship thing is out of the window. And just my luck, the app said we were 99% compatible and destined to be together. But it turns out together just meant with my imoto. Right. In the first place, Christmas isn't just for couples. It's for Kasuku. I'm changing my tune now. Nothing weird about that. Totally normal. Kissing with your imoto, I guess. Not really, but like... Or rather, why are we kyōdai in the first place? The very reason for that is... No, that's wrong. That's not it. I closed my eyes, pressed my face into the makara, and sighed. My eyelids felt heavy. Gotta change. I'm in coat too. Need a shower and something light to eat. Tomorrow's schedule, confirming details. Then... and Christmas Eve, late at night, on the day we promised each other. At the silent station plaza, where Yuki kept calling, Uzuki stopped me, and I couldn't bring myself to say, sayonara, goodbye. Anyway, I don't know, my brain's dying. Whether it's a snow or just Christmas Eve, and there are hardly any people in the city, especially couples. Feeling a sense of foreboding, I waited for Uzuki's words. My imoto's shoulders were trembling slightly. Was it just the cold? My heart leaped at the weight of Uzuki's words, even though I should have expected them. Wait, are we doing a flashback? Like, him going back home was after they met up on Christmas? I'm confused by the timeline of things. No, I'm only confused with the timeline of things because the LLM is messing up a lot of things right now. Man, she really went hard to like LARPing as Yozora. She went hard at LARPing as Yozora to the point that she's like, Takumi-san, you're like, Mimi-san desu. Yozora, それは Uzuki shakes her head, as if to say, Dame. Uzuki closed her eyes, as if begging for a kiss. Not on the cheek or forehead, but a lover's kiss on the lips. I know I should say no. That's what I think. But despite that, my hand was already on Uzuki's shoulder. Uzuki let out a breath that sounded almost surprised. Ignoring it, I was drawn closer to her lips. Abruptly troubled sound escapes Uzuki as I lose myself in the taste of my imoto's lips. Oh, he went for it. He really went for it. Soft, more than that, warm. Wait, no, wait. Maybe this is not a flashback. This is a Yume. You know, like what happened the previous age scene. That was a fake out. Wait, so is this actually I can't tell. But anyway. And cold, Samui. Samui. Nani? I frantically peeled my face off the drool slick makara, only to realize the coldness was just my own saliva. Okay, it is a dream. He was. I like it. I like he's having a lot of those dreams with Uzuki, with Yozora. He's really thinking about it. I mean, he's dreaming about it. If you dreamt of something like that more than once, you know, it's you really do have that desire. They say that dreams are like preparing your mind for something, and if he's dreaming about that a lot, he's preparing himself to get involved. I was asleep. It's past 2 a.m. and I'm in that half-asleep state at a lousy hour. And me? Just half-ass. Everything is just half-ass. I don't know that's the correct translation, but I'll accept it. A sigh escaped me naturally. I dragged my heavy body to the edge of the bed, sitting down with a sluggish motion. Even if it was just a yume, I ended up accepting Uzuki's confession, kokohaku. I had this yume before. Oh, no. Your yume before was much worse. I had this desire to like Uzuki. I don't know why it's like become like Uzuki. Wait, unless it's correct. Like, become like Uzuki in a way that... Anyway, whatever. I'm not gonna defend that. Uzuki playing the part of Yozora, putting on a transparent act for someone else. I just let it slide when I sees. Oh, okay, I see what he's going. Yeah, he wants to play along so he gets to not think of her as like his Imoto. The Yume I just had, I've seen it before. In the end, they all had the same root. If only I could be Yuzuki's Kadashi. I randomly shook my head, but deep down I knew there was no denying it anymore. If what I dreamed came true, could I really reject Uzuki? But could you reject Yozora? The better question there. Today is Christmas Eve. The day I've been waiting for. My Uni-chan, yeah, Takumi-san's date with me. And not just any date, but a tokubetsu one. Uzuki, can I come in?
Hi, dozo.
A little after I replied, Oba-san came into the room. Oh, you actually put on makeup today. I wonder who you're going to see. A koibito?
恋人じゃなくて
Huh?
お友達だよ。
That's what they all say. ... Oh, what should I do? I was sure she thought it was weird, but my Oba-san looked a little surprised and gave a calm smile. You're going to introduce me properly eventually, right?
本当に違うのに。
Oh, is that so?
そうです。おばさんの勘違いです。
Was my voice trembling? My Oba-san laughed as if that was the most ridiculous thing she ever heard. I thought about arguing, but I stopped. There's nothing but a swamp ahead. We just have different life experience points.
おばさん、それでお願いがあるんですけど、今日はそのままみんなとお泊まりしてもいいですか？
That's pretty urgent. When I hesitantly asked, the wrinkles between Obasan's eyes deepened as she stopped smiling.
さっきも言ったけど女子会だからそれにもう約束しちゃって
She could tell it's not that. It's with the friend. The word is wrong.
ごめんなさい
But if you already made a promise, it's too late to back out now. I look up at those words. Okay, so yeah, because she already made a promise. She should have asked permission first. Okay, I why she said the order. Be careful on your way. I'll be right back. And this is the translation correct? There. Let me translate this. This doesn't make sense. Oh fuck! I somehow can't select my can't select Luna Translator for some reason. You know what? I'm stuck with this. You know what? Whatever. Obasan tore a page from her notebook and handed me a scrap. It's blank. But what could it be?
お使い
Contact info. Oh shit! Oh no. Well, last night she stayed over. She mentioned, "Oh, do I need to also let my friends act for me?" You know, that sort of thing. Make that excuse. Okay. I hurriedly write down the number and hand it over. It was a friend's number we prearranged to coordinate with. She was way ahead. She learned from her last sleepover. I wouldn't have noticed this if I was alone. I'm so grateful. Don't stay out too late tomorrow. I'll have dinner ready for you.
ありがとうおばさん
She smiled as I said that and left the room. Relieved that my uso hadn't been caught, I let out a sigh just after her footsteps faded away. I bowed to the door and apologized. Come in. Now that I'm lying to my Obasan to go out overnight, I've become a bad girl. But he's my Oni-chan. No, maybe that makes it even worse. But I really wanted to be with my Oni-chan today, so I reached for one of the drawers in the small cabinet. Inside, sleeping away, was a pendant my Oni-chan had given me when I was a child. Kodomo. And the old pendant, far from being of good quality, had a faint rust-like residue and felt slightly rough to the touch where the metal was. But no matter how old it gets, its shine never fades. In the same drawer as the pendant, another one. The new moon-shaped hair ornament I got just before my birthday. Both of them are my most precious treasures forever. I clutched the pendant and hairpin tightly, the sharp edges stinging into my palm, sending a prickling pain through me. It felt like a final warning to me. I could be late. The things I worry about usually happen. So, this is why. Complaining about the trouble that happened and the overnight needed to fix it, I head toward the meeting spot in front of the stained glass. I took a taxi part way, but maybe there's Christmas Eve traffic with reindeer or something. Cars were moving so slow, I just got out and started running. Surely enough, Uzuki was already in the meeting spot. Come in. I'm late.
走ってくる匠さんなんだかドラマのワンシーンみたいでしたよ
Uzuki smiled cheerfully without even scolding me for being late, and I was too busy catching my breath to smile back. It's not like I'm making excuses, but there was a minor issue at work, and now I had to carry documents all over the place, so yeah. Sorry for being late.
そんなに謝らなくても大丈夫ですよもうそんなに汗をかいて冬なのに
Uzuki wipes the sweat from my face with a handkerchief while laughing as I run at full speed.
待ってる間も楽しかったので、ずっとたくみさんのこと考えてたので、全然暇しませんでした。
She really doesn't love him, man. Damn. Damn. For a moment, I thought she was a Tenchi. But when I think about it calmly, she's not a Tenchi, but my Imoto. It put me in a very awkward mood. What even is a Tenchi anyway? Should I cry over my poor vocabulary, or lament the idiocy of an Oni-chan who calls his Imoto a Tenchi? Well, I guess that's good then.
それに、前回は私が遅刻しちゃいましたし、おあいこになってむしろほっとしたかもです。それじゃあ、まずはどうしましょうか。
For this, a Christmas present.
開けてもいいですか？
It's very early. Of course, もちろん. Uzuki carefully untied the ribbon from the gift box and slowly opened it.
これってもしかして。
The moment I tore out the wrapping paper, my Imoto let out a surprise and light cry. It seemed she guessed what it was from the box itself. A home planetarium. I just happened to see it in a random shop. You know, Uzuki loves Hoshi. I remembered how Yozora was talking about stars on the Aikotoba timeline. I almost blurted it out, but quickly covered up. But Uzuki acted as if she hadn't noticed at all, clutching the box tightly in both hands.
嬉しいです。こんな素敵なプレゼント。一生の宝物にしますね。
I doubt it'll last that long though.
大丈夫です。大切に使いますから。
There's gotta be a limit to how much you can treat someone like they're precious. But I'm glad Uzuki said that. For now, I'll keep an eye on it while we're moving. Okay, I can carry it. Uzuki said, trying to reassure me as I carefully placed the box in the sturdy paper bag. When I looked up again, her eyes seemed to be saying something.
たくみさんは今日これからどうするか決めていますか？
Actually, I haven't done anything yet. I was so busy securing the promise gift yesterday that it consumed all my energy. That's the extent of my usefulness right now.
実は私にいい考えがあるんです。
Uzuki handed me a pamphlet. It was from the planetarium we went together before.
クリスマス限定の上映プログラムがあるんです。もしよかったらどうですか？
And there was no reason to object. And when I nodded, Uzuki's face lit up with a happy smile.
じゃあ行きましょう。
Uzuki grabbed my hand, acting so natural, but her grip was tighter than usual. And I could feel the tension in it. Caught up in it, I feel a fresher flutter in my chest too. Are we still Kyodai? The Christmas Light limited screening program was interesting, as to how it kept emphasizing couples' romantic nights, and it annoyed me. Uzuki's confession to words, Yozora's obvious affection, and the Uzuki who acts like a lover in my dreams. Oh, yeah, come to figure, he has 3 Uzukis in his brain. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, yeah. Uzuki the Imoto, Uzuki the Yozora, and Uzuki the Dream. During the screening, those thoughts kept flashing through my mind, and each time I couldn't help but notice Uzuki next to me. Anyway, I gave her the Christmas present though, and we even went on a planetarium day she loves. Now Uzuki should be happy. Then it's too late tonight.
どこかで食事していきませんか?
Oh wait, I think he meant to say it's already too late or something. Like, it's late. The time is late. I guess it had to end up like this, though I was expecting it. But at this hour, our options are pretty limited.
私、そういうのこだわりません。もちろん、おしゃれなレストランもいいですけど。あ、ラーメン屋さんならさすがに入れるかも。
Man, when she gets older, she'll be so expensive. Like, she keeps thinking about going to fancy restaurants a lot. Jesus. Ramen. Wait, ramen? Well, yeah. If it's that, then I guess I could go inside.
たくみさんはラーメン好きでしたよね。あ、でもニンニクはまずいかな。
I see. Garlic then. No, let's definitely go with that. Then, ja, ramen it is.
でもニンニク。
Alright, then let's go. You know why? She's worrying about garlic, and we're not talking about Brett here. It'll be tastier on the other side, if you know what I mean.
あれ、たくみさん。
As soon as we finished eating, we went outside and it started snowing again. Uzuki laughed, almost gleefully, as she struggled to keep her hair from flying away in the wind that swept through, carrying Yuki with it. Anything interesting happen?
って、あんなにニンニク山盛りにしなくても。
Oh wait, I think he meant to say that something happened. It's like a charm to keep someone from doing something bad.
あ、それひどいです。
Oh. Okay, I get what he was doing there. Uzuki puffed out her cheeks, then grinned devilishly, like she was about to go for my lips again. And yeah, it probably wasn't just my imagination. I looked away. Shall we go? I slipped before Uzuki and started walking towards the Ikemaya. Uzuki eventually started walking again, as if giving up, slowly through the falling snow, as if regretting the passing time. We've been talking pretty amicably until then, but on the way to the Ikemai, there was barely any real conversation at all. But you could feel the strong awareness of each other's presence in the air. Brother and sister, Takumi and Yozora. Right now, those four roles. Brother, sister, me, and her are intersecting and slowly blending together in our relationship. Before I knew it, we were standing in front of the Ikemai. And the snow gets any worse, the Densha might stop running. Guess this is goodbye for today. Finally made it under the roof, shaking off the clinging snow. Uzuki still had some on her head too, so I brushed that off for her. Remember, she has plans to stay at her friend's, quote unquote, so you know, she's not going home. After she finished shaking off the snow, Uzuki, who had been letting me do as I please, turned her red-nosed face toward me. And it looked a lot like what I saw in my Yume last night. Oh man, she's preparing for something here. Her eyes, glistening with reflected light from the Ikemai, were moist and her breath white and misty from the cold, carried a strong, burning heat. Her silence speaks volumes, conveying her resolve more eloquently than words ever could. Am I afraid or am I hoping? Uzuki confessing to me, just like in that Yume. Feel free to reach out anytime. Just as I turned to leave, saying only that much, a heavy weight pressed against my back. I immediately understood the weight. Uzuki. Uzuki was hugging me from behind.
まだ帰りたくないです。
Alright, here we go. But I can't go home now.
友達の家にお泊まりをするって言っています。
You can't go home now.
帰れません。帰ったら変に思われちゃう。
So, you're really going to that friend's place?
やだ。
He's really trying to play dumb here and there. He's really trying to play dumb. But it's obvious what she's doing. No way, that's not true. Uzuka clings to me like a spoiled child refusing to let go.
私はどうしてもたくみさんと一緒にいたいんです。
And there's a big problem lying between us right now. Cut it out with all the demands, Uzuki. We're...
私、夜空です。間違えないでください。
I like the LARP here. He really went hard for the LARP. Seriously, that's so you, Uzuki.
わかりました。止めてくれないなら、そのあたりに泊まります。
Oh, man. Okay, well, do whatever you want. Saying that, I let Uzuki behind and walked away. But after walking a few steps, I turned back and saw Uzuki hanging her head, looking like she was about to cry. And I took her hand.
たくみさん。
She almost broke her LARP there. I can't leave you behind, Baka.
お部屋、きれいにしているんですね。
Jesus Christ, man. She even went hard on the LARP on, like this is her first sign. Before I knew it, Uzuki was in a surprisingly good mood and said as if she'd never been to my room before, which completely threw me off. I almost wanted to say something, but I just don't have the energy for it right now. Where did all that ramen power go? In the end, I couldn't leave my whining Imoto alone and let her in. My weakness is that I can't turn her away when she's there. But if I just let Uzuki behind, what would be the point of coming back here in the first place? Leaving her isn't an option for me. I turn on the heater and head into the kitchen to start boiling water. The sound of the gas stove igniting, then the kettle slowly coming to a boil, was strangely loud. Uzuki was hunched slightly in her chair, as if bracing herself for something about to happen. And this will warm you up. I hand Uzuki the steaming cocoa. She takes it, blowing on it to cool before taking a single sip.
甘い。
That's kid glove treatment for a rat. So cookie. I know Uzuki's cocoa preferences. Plenty of powder and gyunyu. But she never compromises on sugar.
甘いのは好きです。もっと甘えたくなっちゃう。
Typical Imoto. I know. I held back from saying it, but I took my own portion too. And so we sat facing each other for a while, warming our fingertips with the heat of the mugs. All I could hear was the air conditioner running and her sipping her cocoa. Nothing else. It was a quiet night. Uzuki eventually placed the still full cup on the table. And with a clink, the sound sliced through the silence. That was the signal.
私って本当にめんどくさい。
Also, troublesome things are. Where Kazuko? I almost said it, but I hesitated. And Uzuki, looking down, had big tears welling up in both her eyes.
ごめんなさい。こんなはずじゃなくて、泣くつもりなんじゃなくて、楽しくて明るいクリスマスにしたくて、思い出すたびに笑えて温かくなる日にしたくて、それなのに匠さんと話すたびに、会うたびに別れなくなる。私はどうしたいのか、本当はどうするべきなのか。違う。本当は分かっているんです。私はどうしたいか。だけどそうするわけにはいかなくて、ずっと匠さんのことを考えているんです。朝起きた時も、朝ごはんを食べている時も、授業を受けてる時も、友達とおしゃべりしてる時も、家に帰ってからも、寝る前も、眠った後も、匠さんのことを考えてると幸せで苦しくて、合言葉で話していたら嬉しくて、もっと一緒にいたいって。だから私こんないけないって分かってるのに止められないの。
The words pouring endlessly from Uzuki's mouth weren't those of Yozora, her own. I knew it. It would happen sooner or later. It was a lost cause from the start. You can't be someone other than yourself. Even so, we kyodai. A deep, heavy breath escaped her as she was finally unsealing the deepest part of her heart.
どうして好きじゃダメなの？私は、うずきは。
I close my eyes as I hear Uzuki's anguished cry. If I could just close my ears, my mouth, and my heart. If I could just get through it all, I could probably keep living the same life I have been. I heard Uzuki get up from the chair, then the sound of her feet dragging across the floor as she slowly approached. Uzuki's hand touched my shoulder, then moved to my neck. The spot she touched felt burning hot.
何か言って、お兄ちゃん。
I realized I couldn't live like the Shujinko of a story. Felt disappointed and also a little relieved. But that's not it. No matter how dull or unremarkable I am still the Shujinko of my own story. And Uzuki, she's the Shujinko of her own destiny too. Since reuniting with Uzuki at Sendai Ikimai, all the Yume, Kibo, and ideals I've seen have suddenly become jumbled together. Our stories are crossing paths, becoming one story. I finally get it. Even as I tried to reject it, I wanted the beginning of a story. Uzuki, who was always walking behind me, was the one who pushed me forward all those times I hesitated. And the story begins the moment I say, Ai kotoba. Yozora-san. I called her that. Uzuki's hand touching my neck trembled. Now I understand how she felt. The door to our destiny opens now. Unme. I still need a fulcrum to counter and wait. I want to double check the translation because it feels longer than. Yeah, it's longer than that, isn't it? Come on. I can't get Luna translator. Never mind. And so I finally speak Ai kotoba, the kagi to opening a door that should have remained closed. I regret it. Of course I do. I've been regretting it since the beginning. And I still do now. But even so, I open the tobera. My imoto. At the same time, my irreplaceable destiny. Wore a bittersweet smile as she understood everything.
私も匠さんが好きです。
Uzuki closed her eyes and leaned in. But I caught her first. Pulled her close and stole her lips. How much time had passed since my lips, Takumi, touched Uzuki's, who was Yozora? It felt like an eternity, yet also just a fleeting moment. It was a strange feeling, a mix of guilt for doing something I shouldn't have, and satisfaction that the Ume I knew would come had finally arrived. It was a powerful heat, so intense that it felt like both of us, Takumi and Uzuki, were melting together into one. Before either of us knew it, our lips parted naturally. The moment our lips parted, the light in Uzuki's glistening eyes remained in my vision like a bright first magnitude star shining against the Yozora. After confessing our feelings and completing the ritual of a kiss, Uzuki and I sat side by side on the sofa. Caught in the afterglow of unleashed passion, but maybe shaping it into something concrete to help both Uzuki and me regain a little composure.
あのね、
Uzuki looked like she couldn't bear the silence any longer and tried to say something. But her words quickly dried up. As a result, the silence only deepened further. I searched for the words too. I thought there must still be much more to say beyond what we already shared. But I didn't. I was just basking in the comfort of watching Uzuki pummel her words, trying to fill the silence with something cute. Uzuki. When I called her that, Uzuki's voice cracked. Would it have been different if I had just said Yozora? It's cold today. It's getting late, so why don't you take a bath? Oh. Oh. Oh.
そうだね。
Uzuki pretends to ponder my suggestion.
お兄ちゃんと一緒に入ってもいい？
Damn. Huh? Then it was my turn to sound like a broken record. Needless to say, we're not kids anymore. More than that, we just confess our feelings to each other. The thought of us taking a bath together. Whoa. Hold on. That's a bit too fast.
違うよ。普通にお風呂に入るだけで、夜空としてじゃなくて、うずきとしてだから。
That's some bullshit there. That's some bullshit there. You're too old. Even if you put back yourselves as siblings, you're too old to take a bath together. Unless. Isn't that what I'm saying? Exactly what I'm saying.
違うよ。全然違う。
How is it different?
夜空は危険で、うずきは安全？
No, stop. Seriously, who is Yosara even? I don't understand.
でも、お兄ちゃんも言ってたよ。もう遅いからって。だから、一緒に入れば効率的かなっていう。ね。
Those tricky emotos, man. That forceful all-out push. Exactly like Miyamoto Uzuki. Sure, Uzuki might be safe, but still.
ダメかな。
I nodded, letting out a deep sigh. Yeah, but you're actually.
案外何？
It's nothing. Fine, I get it. But seriously, it's just showering.
もちろんわかってるよ。
Still kind of dirty when you shower together. Anyway. Seriously. Seeing Uzuki smiling so happily, I couldn't say anything more. I secretly steel myself, as long as they are rational. Good luck with that, bro. That's all. Just that much. Only just that. I started getting ready for bat, repeating the same words like a self-hypnosis spell in my head. By the way, we gotta get ready for something that I have to censor or cut. I feel it's more like a cut than a censor, depending on the context of the conversation. Because the previous age scene, there was obviously some age scene involved, but like they were actually having some conversation there, I guess. That's why I felt like censoring it instead of cutting it out. But anyway, I was first to head into the opuro. I quickly washed up before Uzuki arrived, then sank deep into the tub, trying not to force my heart. Oh, good thing. I'm not gonna cut out the entire thing. I'm just gonna put the huge black set of black bars, I guess. Anyway, after showering, Uzuki and I were just watching TV, but nothing was really sinking in. All that's on my mind is Uzuki's naked body from the opuro. Uzuki's also watching TV, but even though the comedian on screen is delivering what looked like hilarious routine, she isn't cracking a smile. Obviously, it's still on her mind. Uzuki.
何？
Uzuki's reply had a slightly embarrassed tone. The flushed cheeks from soaking in the opuro just moments ago added a unique allure to her still youthful appearance. Want something to drink? Cocoa? Coffee?
大丈夫。まだ高いし。っていうか、ちょっと暑いぐらい。
So, that's how it is. We've just been stuck in this loop of short exchanges the whole time. We eventually gave up talking and fell silent. The TV is still on, loud, but all I can hear is the ticking of the clock. So loud it's deafening. Before I knew it, December 24th, Christmas Eve was almost over.
匠さん。
Oh wow, she went for Takumi-san. She wants something here. Caught off guard by the way she called me, I wordlessly turned to face Uzuki.
そのクリスマスプレゼントのことなんですけど。
Huh? It's fine. Don't worry about it. I wanted to send that. I wanted to give that. It should be me, Takumi, who replies to Yozara's words. The spoken rule was still alive in me, but the line between us is starting to blur.
そうじゃなくて、実は私も用意していて、でもちょっとちょっと言いにくくて。
Yozara-san, what is your gift to Takumi-san? Uzuki's face was bright red as she stammered, but still desperately tried to speak.
私のなんと言ったらいいか。ですね。初めてをプレゼントに。
Alright, let's fucking go. 初めて。
初めてというのはつまりですね。私の最初の。
Yeah, I get what you mean. Uzuki fell silent, looked down, her expression clear even without asking. What Uzuki's offering is something I want too. It can't be a half-hearted thing, right? I wanted to accept her feelings as well. I want to be with Uzuki, but what about it? Sure, we're connected emotionally, but Should I stop Kyocera? Uzuki.
たくみさんまでそんなに顔を赤くしていたら私も余計に恥ずかしいです。
は？本当に？
はい、夜間みたいです。っていうかたくみさんのそんな顔初めて見た。
Uzuki says that, then turns her face down again, and Uzuki continues, still looking down, saying,
私の初めてもらってくれますか？
It means that we both like each other, and there's a chance something like that could happen someday. It's something you'd figure out if you thought about it for a second. Tonight is Christmas Eve, and there's no situation like this very often. I want to hold Uzuki, I really do. With a feeling I wanted to stay her Nissan a little longer is clashing violently with that desire inside me.
どうか私はたくみさんだけのものにしてください。
What are you even hesitating about? Just grab Uzuki right now. More than anything, she wants it herself. The devil's temptation flashed through my mind, but I shook it off immediately. We've confirmed our feelings, but we're still kyodai. I can't just so easily cross that line. I decide I can't accept the Christmas present though from Uzuki. Uzuki, it's late, so let's go to bed now. Even with my lingering doubts, I say it. I said. Uzuki trembled slightly at my words.
そうだね。
Uzuki nodded conveniently, but I knew she hadn't really accepted it or agreed with me. I'm the same way. The desire to hold the person I love, the one who made me feel so strongly about Unme, was constantly at odds with my wish to cherish my Imoto, whom I hadn't seen in so long. Well, he only said, like, let's get to bed. So he didn't say it in a way that's outright rejection. So he is fighting the hardest battle of his life. So he gave a half-ass answer that could be interpreted in multiple ways. But let's see how this works out. I feel like he's gonna give in the moment he touched her. I feel like it. How happy would I be if I could just hold Uzuki in my arms right now, like a normal couple? But even if things don't turn out that way, our bodies will never fully connect. We're koibito today. Or our bodies will never connect. I think that's what I want. That's what I can say. The only difference between us and normal couples is that we're kyodai, blood-related siblings. The best part. The most important part.
じゃあお兄ちゃんと一緒の布団で寝てもいい？
Yeah, whatever. At least that much. It's not nearly enough to make up for not being able to accept her feelings. Maybe this was for the best. That's all I can think, but really. Why are we kyodai anyway? Oh no, another view. Oh no! Something might happen. How long has it been since I got to the same futon as my Oni-chan? We're lying back to back, so I can't see his face. It was late at night, with almost no other sounds around. All I could hear was the ticking of the clock and my Oni-chan's quiet snores. Did he already fall asleep? I don't think I'll be able to sleep at all. No matter what, my wish to be with you wasn't granted. It was shocking. More than anything, it made me lonely. We shared our feelings, knew we were meant for each other. Nothing could stand in our way, or so I thought. It seems I was the only one thinking that way. Brother and sister. That wall might be higher and thicker than I thought. But Oni-chan must be much more mature than me, so he understands and can see things way ahead. So you use vague words to avoid it and didn't hold me.
高望みしすぎなのかな。もうこれ以上は進んじゃいけないのかな。だけど私は。
What a Sunday I seek you out again like today, and then even more clearly than before you reject me. At that moment, if I get rejected a second time, there's no way I'll succeed on the third. And in that moment, my relationship with Yozora and Takumi-san will forever be stuck right there.
匠さん。
I pretended to toss and turn, muttering in my sleep, or quietly snuggling against my Oni-chan. Is he really asleep? Or is my Oni-chan just ignoring me? His body's warm, but I can only feel his warm while you're in Sendai. My Oni-chan's just back for work, just back in Sendai for work. But he'll eventually return to Osaka again.
匠さん。私はどうすればいい？どうしたら本当にあなたと結ばれますか？
Still, no reply from my Oni-chan. My question echoed quietly in the space where the cold light seeped through the tightly closed curtains, mixed with the darkness of Yoru fading away. You know what? I'm actually enjoying the story. Is it easy about this, man? It's kind of buzzkill, but I keep going. I really like that. Okay, I'll go 30 minutes more. Then I'll need to take a really long break, dinner, and I need to work for a bit. Then we'll continue, maybe at least an hour, at least an hour. But I can't go late like yesterday because I have to go to the office tomorrow. Anyway, Ohayo, or morning. No, it's asa. The bright light streaming through the gap in the curtains made me wince and groan. After that, I couldn't stop thinking about Uzuki clinging to me from behind. I heard every whisper she let slip. In the end, I only managed to fall asleep when the sky started to lighten.
おはようございます。匠さん。
At least she's still here. Ohayo, Yozora. And a slightly drowsy voice, Uzuki, who should have been asleep next to me, spoke up. Judging by her tone, she probably couldn't sleep either, just like me. We had an unspoken agreement not to talk about last night, so a brief silence falls between us. It was Uzuki who broke that silence
き
first.
ちんと眠れました？
I'm nervous and kinda.
私もです。お揃いですね。
Uzuki smiles faintly. Or is that Yozora? It feels like she's really my kanajo. Yeah, mate. If it's Yozora-san, then I can consider her my kanajo, but not just like a imoto. Well, probably not, but still.
今日はこれからどうします？
Today is December 25th, Christmas Day. But my last day at work isn't until later, so I had to go in. The absolute state of the Japanese salary, man. On Christmas Day, you gotta work. What the hell, man? Why is work suffering in Japan? Not even the whole golden week will compensate for losing time for Christmas. Oh well. Jesus, the absolute state of a Japanese salaryman. I still think about the salaryman I see in the Densha every Sunday, man. there's still a lot of them. Not too much, but like there's still. But anyway. When I said that, Uzuki's smile remained, but her voice brightened slightly.
それじゃあ朝ごはん作りましょうか。冷蔵庫の中見てもいいですか？
Sure, that's fine and all, but Uzuki rummages through the fridge. I hardly ever cook, so there shouldn't be much in here.
卵と牛乳とバターもありますね。他には氷とお酒だけか。
Sounds like a plan for something. What the hell could you eat with this? You knew milk. Well, you could do scrambled eggs, but that's it. And we still have pan.
じゃあフレンチトーストにしましょうか。待っててくださいね。
Actually,
すぐに作りますから。
oh yeah, you could make French toast with that. No sugar though. No syrup. French toast. Like I'd be eating something fancy like that.
別に普通ですよ。今時コンビニにも売ってます。
Uzuki stood in the kitchen, skillfully cracking an egg into a bowl with one hand, and started whisking it together with sugar and butter. The sound of chopsticks mixing the eggs was strangely clear. Before I knew it, my head started to feel fuzzy. Oh man, the sound effects, man. I haven't eaten dinner yet, and speaking it, it's so real. Before long, the kitchen filled with a crispy sizzle, a French toast, and a sweet toasty aroma.
たくみさん、寝ちゃダメですよ。遅刻しちゃいます。
Oh, gomen, I almost slept in again.
寝顔も見たかったですけど、遅刻しちゃいます。朝食できましたよ。
Uzuki laughs in a way that sounds like she's trying not to slap. The table was set with perfectly golden French toast and half-cooked fried egg made of mayaki on the side. And this is the first decent breakfast I had in ages.
そんなに大したものじゃないです。むしろ卵ばっかり使ってごめんなさい。
That's my responsibility. I guess I did a good job of handling it. As I said that, I picked up a square-cut piece of French toast and ate it while Uzuki watched me with bated breath. The French toast, soaked thoroughly with egg, had a texture like high-end cheesecake, and that's on my tongue. I'm like, how we exaggerated that. There's no way you're making high-end cheesecake texture with just those, but okay.
味どうですか？
It's thick and rich, yet fragrant. And while it has sweetness, it's also refreshing. This is so good. I really like this flavor.
本当ですか？よかった。男の人だからお砂糖もっと控えめかなって思ったんですけど。
No, more sugar is good. Kampeki. Uzuki smiled, clasped her hand together in my praise. Even though we've been apart for so long, I guess our taste in food haven't changed much after all. Knowing each other's preferences from the start is normal for kyodai, but it feels strange as koibito. No, it's not. Even so, if we keep dating like this in the future, and there will probably be things we won't know about each other then. So we need to build more memories, not as kyodai, but as koibito. Uzuki watches me eating with a happy look on her face, not even touching her own food. And just like that, I finished breakfast in no time. Simply put, I want to eat more of Uzuki's cooking. I want to eat that again. French toast.
ご注文受けたまわります。何度だって作りますよ。
Seeing Uzuki smile so happily, I can't help but grin too. I wish we could stay like this forever. But I should probably get ready for work soon.
次は 今度はいつ会えますか？
Anytime. But you really want a solid promise, don't you? Well, in that case. Just as I was about to speak, Uzuki's cat eye on the table started vibrating.
すいません、ちょっと電話。
Uzuki widened her eyes slightly as she looked at the phone screen.
はい、もしもし、うずきです。おはようございます。
Uzuki moved only her eyes and lips, conveying from Oji-san.
今起きたところで、友達と一緒に朝ごはんを食べてたところです。はい。はい。用事ですか？たくみさんに？
He fucking knows! He fucking knows! Fucking knows! What do you mean, Takumi-san? I'm not meeting up with Takumi-san. Uzuki was emotionally under a pretense of visiting a friend. But for a second they panicked, thinking they got on.
連絡は取れますけど、でもたくみさんの予定が空いてるかどうかは。はい。
Okay.
聞いてみますけど。
They got me there too. They got me there too. They got me there. Those bastards got me there. She ended the call and let out a short sigh. What's going on with Oji-san? Without thinking, I asked. I said.
もしよかったら大晦日にたくみさんをうちに呼べないかって。
Oh. Why all of a sudden? Did he say anything else?
ちゃんと紹介してほしいし、その方が楽しいんじゃないかってそう言ってました。
Uzuki tilts her head, unsure what Oji-san meant. Maybe Oji-san knows everything, including that Uzuki is lying to me about being here.
どうします？断るなら断るで、多分大丈夫だと思いますけど。
Oh, yeah. What do you want to do, Yozora?
私はもし年末も一緒にいられるならそれがいいです。でも。
I can understand why Uzuki is confused. And just because we use Yozora and Takumi as convenient tools between us doesn't mean I'm okay with continuing that in front of my Oba-san too. It's definitely a pretty unusual situation, but well, is it really now? Guess I'll just come in then.
本当にいいんですか？
I'm looking forward to it. Once we ran into Oji-san at that place, there wasn't much point in hiding our reunion anymore. Uzuki's being taken care of there, so it's a good chance to meet my Oba-san too.
はい。それじゃあ私はそろそろ帰りますね。おじさんが心配してるみたいだったので。
See you later, Yozora.
たくみさん、また会いましょうね。
The door closed and I was left alone in my mansion. The sweet smell of French toast still lingering in the room. And to see you later, we exchange. I feel an odd mix of loneliness and reluctance to let her go. Being alone never bothered me before. If anything, I preferred it. It was easier, even better that way. But even so, I guess I can't make fun of Uzuki anymore. You know what? I'm gonna take that break now. I'll be back. Hopefully, I'm not gonna take too much time. I want to continue reading at least 2 hours, but let's see what time I finish with dinner and the work. I'll be ordering food, I guess, so I could do some work while I wait for food. I'll be right back. The life of a salaryman. God damn it. I'll be right back. Oh, okay. I'm back. I could probably do an hour and 30 minutes. Or an hour. I don't know, man. Sleeping at midnight again. Well, earlier than 1 o'clock. Anyway, it was the last weekend before year end. And I was so swamped with work, I barely had time to think about Kurismasu. Oh, yeah, that's... I went 30 minutes more than I expected for the amount of work I was going to do in between the first half of the reading I did today. I mean, this evening, because I started at 6, stopped at around 7, and it's now 10. Fuck. Anyway, 10:30 to be exact. So I occasionally chat with Yozora through words, but it never really turns into anything steamy. I just use her encouragement and status as motivation to focus on work. Mizukami, isn't that an aikotoba? Wait, what the hell did he mean by that? Wait, give me a second. I'm gonna try, because right now I'm using MagPie to scale up. Maybe if I... Oh, there you go. So I just freed up my Luna translator. Give me a second. I'm gonna retranslate this line, because there's a lot of things that I felt like let's see. Wait, what is with their last name, Mizukami? His last name, rather. Mizu is drinkable water. Kami is obviously God. Oh no, okay, so okay, sorry, it's a mistranslation. It's a mistranslation. It's a worker being like, Mizukami, is that aikotoba? A co-worker noticing me replying to Yozora-san called out to me. This is why I totally understand the QA that's being done by translators now. Thanks to that colleague's handover mistake, I ended up in Sendai. In a way, he was the man who connected my ume with Uzuki's. So, you've been glued to your ketai lately. That's what this is about. You found yourself a good one, huh? Well, yeah. I quickly finished sending the message, pocketed my ketai, and started talking shop with a coworker. We have work closing in a few days, so there were still a few things we need to go over. Things will get busy again after the new year, so I'm counting on you. I'll support you as much as I can do. Oh, at the very least, he's staying beyond. Oh, he's staying at least at the new year. He'll be there for the new year at least. Interesting. Yeah, I'll do my best to avoid mistakes next time. Next year, or so I thought. Before that, I have a big task of visiting my Obasa and Oji-san house on New Year's Eve. What kind of year will this be for me? And what about next year for both of us? Ooh. Oh shit, I have to do some editing after this. I just remembered. Maybe I can only do 1 hour because I have to spend some time to edit. And on New Year's Eve itself, I was waiting at the Kamae for my Oji-san's kuruma to arrive. I can't seem to calm down. Hearing Uzuki's with me is a relief, but no. In this case, it might be better if she wasn't here. While I was thinking about that, a kuruma pulled up at the rotary, and Uzuki and my Uji-san got out. Thank you for inviting me today. This is just a small token of my appreciation. I immediately offered my Uji-san omiyage I had prepared. Even if 1,000 times this wouldn't even begin to repay Uzuki for raising her. This wouldn't even begin to repay for raising. Wait, what was this? Even if 1,000 times this wouldn't even begin to repay him raising Uzuki, I still couldn't leave empty-handed. Question? I have no idea. Yeah. I'm so sorry. I should have been the one to apologize for inviting you out and making you feel obligated.
なんだか2人ともお仕事みたい。
Oh, it feels like they're both working or something. It's like business professional. Uzuki muttered those words, and Oji-san and I exchanged glasses before sharing a laugh. The salaryman life. Guess I'll leave this with Uzuki then. Yeah. There's a certain way you should act when you're professionally in Japan. If I remember correctly, they have a certain level, they have a certain expectation of what they consider as professional. It's very strict.
はい、おじさん。
Uzuki, relax. Takumi won't. I mean, he's not gonna eat you or anything. You know what I mean? Oji-san said that with a joking tone, as if trying to ease the tension between us. And this time, Uzuki and I actually met face to face. We even shared a brief laugh together. Come on, don't just stand there. Get in, get in. I wonder how this thing's gonna work out. So, at my Oba-san and Uji-san's place. Of course, there was my Oba-san too, and I had to introduce myself. My name is Mizukami Takumi. Thank you for having me today. Let's not get all stiff and formal. Can we keep it lighter? Alright, salary man. Domo. It wasn't like we were meeting for the first time or anything. I hesitated, but not saying nice to meet you seems to have been the right call with my Oba-san. Yoroshiku onegaishimasu. So, Takumi-san, what do you do for shigoto? I work for a stationery manufacturer, usually at the Osaka headquarters. This time, I'm on assignment in Sendai, and that's how I met Yozora. Yeah, Uzuki-san.
たくみさんとはネットで知り合ったの。その時の私の名前が夜空だったから。
Yeah, you might have heard, but besides Uzuki-san, we also have a nephew, meaning Uzuki-chan's Oni-san, right? My Oba-san glared at my Oji-san as he said that, as he said that, and he shrugged it off with a weary smile. As she said that, okay, as she said that. My nephew was taken to Osaka a long time ago, and I haven't been allowed contact with him since. She hasn't been allowed contact with him since. Okay. Are you doing okay? Wait, is he doing okay? Is he managing all right? We've been worried about him the whole time. I see. I'm sure there's been a lot, but is managing somehow, right? I think they're talking about him in the third person. Like, they don't, like, maybe Oji-san knows, but Oba-san doesn't know.
それで、たくみさんの会社の文房具が今度うちの学校でも売られることになってて、試供品もこっそり先にもらっちゃった。
Oh, is that so?
だからたまに学校の中で見かけます。ね、たくみさん。あ、それから今度の出張は2回目で。
Uzuki talks and praises me so much. There's practically nothing left for me to explain. When I think about it calmly, my imoto is slowly crushing on her Oji-san like Odi-chan would. Pretty embarrassing. I'm having a hard time reading this translation. Hey, Uzuki, no need to spill everything at once. We got all the time in the world. Ne, Takumi. Hi. Soyo. Ignoring my brother? Oji-san's obsession with Uzuki. Hanging out talking like this with her. Ignoring her obsession, Uzuki's obsession with her brother. Hanging out and talking like this with her Oji-san and Oba-san wasn't so bad. Okay, I get it. What Kazugu was like. I feel like I remember that for the first time in a while. And it's thanks to my Oba-san and Oji-san for accepting me. Ne, Takumi. If you don't have anything else to do tonight, why don't you stay over at our place? I'm single, so I don't really have any plans. I watch Uzuki at my Oba-san's face closely. Uzuki would probably be happier that way, don't you think?
はい。もし匠さんさえ良ければ私は。
Uzuki asserted that timidly, yet her voice was full of barely contained excitement. Her Oba-san narrowed her eyes and smiled at her. Having a boy makes preparing the New Year's feast worthwhile, doesn't it? Uzuki-chan, would you like to help me?
はい。
Even so, a boy, huh? I guess my Oba-san still thinks of her as a kid. Thinks of me as a kid. Then Takumi-kun, how about we try to make soba noodles? Wait, what's the term for that? There's a specific term for soba noodles for New Year. I was supposed to get last New Year, but I already had like a osechi box, so I didn't need to. Soba? We have a family tradition of making soba noodles ourselves every year around New Year's holiday. I'd love for you to join us this time. And that's how it is. Though, I don't have any experience with that. It's not that hard. We'll be fine. Oji-san's smile, my uncle's smile, which had been gentle the whole time, shifted to something more daring. What? Why? Mite, I'll teach you the trick. Wait, is this right? What the hell did they just said? You're welcome. And so we each went our separate ways to start preparing for the new year. I needed the pre-prepared soba flour, worked on it over and over, shaping it like bread dough. Once I started, it was surprisingly fun, and I got completely absorbed in making soba. Every now and then I glanced at Uzuki, and she seemed to be working hard too, taking instructions from my Oba-san. I met Uzuki's eyes, and she smiled at me. I returned the smile. It felt like a warm family moment, lost happiness returning. Or so it seemed. How about a break? I'm getting old and I'm tired. You must be exhausted, dude, Takumi, with all this unfamiliar work. My Oji-san was flattening the dough with a rolling pin, stretched and looked at me with concern. Yeah, but still. Hey, can I go out with you for a bit? I don't mind, but please come home early. It seems my Oji-san wants to talk to me. Okay, Uzuki, Oba-san, gomen, but we'll be heading out for a bit. They're gonna have to talk. Uzuki hesitated for a moment at being called that, but then waved slightly in front of her chest.
いってらっしゃい、匠さん。寒いですから、風邪をひかないようにしてくださいね。
With Uzuki looking a bit like Yozora herself, seeing us off, we headed toward the city as dusk approached and the chill wind began to stir. What? They were making soba noodles and they just like, you know, let's go out and go for a drink or some shit. I'm like, okay. People just do that. Anyway. Sorry for making you come out in the cold. Just indulge me. Yeah. Halfway there, I bought a warm canned coffee and some sweet sake at the sweet sake. Isn't that just like sweet sake at the vending machine? He asked me which one I wanted. Oh, he's the Oji-san was the one who bought. I was slightly tempted by the sake Lee's drink in the vending machine, but I went with my usual can of coffee. Sake Lee's. That's different. That's Sake Lee's is one of those sake byproducts, but it's non-alcoholic and sweet. I remember, it's really good actually. If I remember, it's like it's hard to describe, but I usually eat it in dessert. Anyway, guess I can't exactly cheat now. This winter, I've been completely relying on her warmth. Should we sit on the bench for a bit? Oji-san pushed up the pull tab. Pushed the pull tab. Should have pulled the pull tab. Anyway, took the long drink and didn't say anything for a while. I didn't either. The koan was empty, probably because it was late in the day, and the quiet time passed as just the two of us sat side by side on the bench. Takumi-san, you're going back to Osaka eventually, right? Yeah, I guess so. How long can you stay here? I don't know for sure yet, but it could take as soon as a month, though depending on things, it might take up to 3 months. That's rough. Is it always like this? The reason for the Sendai business trip is that the handover to my successor didn't go smoothly. So the company has given me a slightly extended period to ensure nothing like that happens again. I feel bad for his successor, man. He messed up so bad, I guess. But the way he described it on the previous upload was like, it's more like a relationship thing. Like it. Then he messed up really bad. It's like they just really trust this guy, which is very convenient, by the way. A month, maybe 2 at most. Is that long or short? Well, maybe that's just how business trips are. Oji-san took a sip of the second serving amakaze and exhaled, speaking vaguely. Do you know how many times they translated whatever he's drinking in 3 different ways just now? Yeah, I mean, in this entire sentence. Anyway, let's continue. The music stops, so this is important. You really do take after her brother. Oji-san. Oji-san muttered softly. It's not Takumi, the guy I just met, but my nephew Takumi. Well, if you're going to say we look alike, Uzuki looks like me too? What? Okay, well, if you're saying we look alike, Uzuki looks even more like me than you do. Oji-san gave a wry smile and donned a sweet sake in a one gulp. Uzuki's a good kid. Of course, you probably know more about that than I do. I don't think so. The old Uzuki was, well, more like a kid back then, though she still has that side to her now. But I think she grown up well. And she gotten really beautiful. I see. I'm glad you say that. I bow my head to my Oji-san. Okay, so he practically revealed that he is her brother, okay? It's all thanks to you too that Uzuki grew up the way she did. As her Nissan, I don't even know how to thank you enough. It's not just for you guys either. As you know, my wife and I don't have any children. So I raised her like a real child. I wish Uzuki-chan had felt the same way. Oji-san spoke with a gentle face, yet there was a hint of sadness in his words. He understood the unfillable void that still lingered within Uzuki. Uzuki is grateful to both of you two. She says you two have been very kind to her. I blurted it out without thinking. Oji-san just said, in a short, distant tone while staring off into the distance. So, how about you? My adoptive father was strict with me, but that doesn't mean I was being abused or anything. Yeah, that's just who they are. He's blunt, in a good way, in a bad way. The man 2 decades older than my real Osan raised me with strict discipline, as if I were his own son. At first, there was some resistance, but I don't think there was love in it anymore. There's no way I can deny that I am who I am because of him. Also, I've been told to take over the family house in Osaka. Yeah, right. Oh, by the way, how's he doing? He passed away. Then Oji-san's eyes widened. Really? When? You didn't know? Well, I guess that's just how things are in Osaka. I gave a wry smile, as if it were someone else's problem. My relationship with Osaka is close yet distant, even more so than Uzuki than her Obasan and Oji-san are as a Kazoku. Though that's probably not even comparable. Wait, I was actually debating whether to tell you this. But since we're reunited by chance, there's something I need to say. Is there something you wanted to tell me? I should apologize too. I'm sorry for not being able to take both of you in together. This time it was my Oji-san who bowed his head. Mate, hold on. That's not right. Please, raise your head up. I had to admit, being separated from my Imoto has left me with a lot of thoughts, but that's... I want it to be like this from now on. And I guess that means I'll have to start making lame excuses too. An excuse? Will you listen to me? I just nodded silently. We clashed over what to do with you two. I really wanted to take both of you in together, but it wasn't possible. Is that so? Yeah. Our host didn't pan out. Osaka insisted on adopting Takumi. I even suggested we just do it as siblings, the two of us. But they only wanted the boy. They wouldn't budge on that. Oh, they just do it as siblings, the two of you. Okay, so they wouldn't be separated. So the reason we were separated was because that Osaka Kazoku hair issue. Of course, it wasn't that simple in reality. The Osaka family is well known. Some argued that raising them separately would be less of a burden than raising two children. Wait, he's from a rich family in Osaka? Oh, I see. Oh, okay. Now that makes a lot of sense. Welcome back, Tsukuhime. Anyway, except they're blood related. Anyway, back then we couldn't just brush it off like that. When we thought about your future together, there's no way I could promise to take both of you in. Once you actually raise kids, you start to understand things. Now I can admit there is some truth to what Osaka was saying. Even so, when I catch Uzuki looking lonely out of the corner of my eye, I still think we should raise them together. In fact, I tried talking to her about it a few times. Or her or them. Oji-san shakes his head. It was decided. In the end, I was completely rejected and told never to cross my family's threshold again. Your family's threshold again. Your family's threshold. I see. So that's how it was. Of course, this is just our Sendai perspective. I don't expect you to take it at face value. I wonder if there's a better way to translate this, because they keep referring to themselves as regionally, or maybe that is how it's like how you say, as a New Yorker, I think LA is shit. But then again, they also think the same way, or not, maybe not. You know what? I don't like the West Coast. I just don't like the West Coast. Anyway, but no offense, guys. No offense. It's just making shit. I don't really actually hate you guys. They probably saw us kidnappers trying to steal the child they raised with so much care. Wait, what? What are we talking here? Well, I understand how Oji-san feels. I appreciate it, but that's all in the past now. We can't get back the time we've lost. I know this sounds harsh, but I'm not blaming you. Just wondering why now of all times. I understand your family situation too. If that meant a wall would always exist between you two, and continue to exist between us, and continue to exist between you two siblings as well, I'll be unhappy. If possible, I wanted to remove it firmly. Of course, seeing the two of you now, I don't think anything would stand in your way. I thank my Oji-san again, this time more sincerely. I'm so grateful you became Uzuki's parents. Hontoni arigato. Hey, you lift your head up. Jeez, this conversation got pretty depressing. How about we head home? I'm starting to miss my kotatsu, and it's freezing in here. I wish I had space for a kotatsu, man, but I don't have. Random. Yeah, me too.
Takumi-san, Oji-san.
Oh, they went out. Oh, why the full name? Anyway. No, that's my LLM. Uzuki. For some reason, Uzuki, who should have been making osechi with my Oba-san at home, was walking over here. Osechi, man. どうしたの, Uzuki?
おばさんにスーパーに買ってきてほしいものがあるからお使いに行ってきてって言われて。
Fine, whatever. Then let's all go together, Takumi. Our temporary uncle-nephew relationship ends, and we return to being strangers again. What are they gonna do when they found out the siblings are actually in love with each other? Will they ever find out? I'm actually curious how that's gonna work. Unless.
二人で何の話をしていたんですか?
Hey, Uzuki asks as we walk. I can't tell Uzuki about this. It's a secret between guys.
なんだかずるいですよ。教えてください。
This is tough, huh? Hey, Takumi. Yeah, it's probably too early for Uzuki.
男同士の話。私には早い。
That's not what I meant. That kind of talk, if you know what I mean. Is that so?
別に私はたくみさん。
What's this, Yozora-san? I emphasized Yozora a little teasingly, and Uzuki pouted, puffing out her small cheeks. But when Oji-san and I laughed at Uzuki like that, she said even more with a smile. The laughter at the tree echoed through the twilight sky. The television in the living room was casually playing the New Year's evening singing competition between Team Red and Team White. Oh man. Do they still do Batsu every year? I haven't watched Batsu in ages. Anyway, that's very random. Uzuki, meanwhile, is leaning against me, half asleep, probably from all that homemade solo we ate. You glutton, sleeping out like that, you'll catch a cold.
でも一緒に年 し起こしたいから。
Fine. Takumi, the lap blanket is over there. You can put it on Uzuki for me. Hi. This is it. I draped the blanket over Uzuki's shoulders. Oh man. Nichidoisuke. Oh man. At that moment, I flushed at Uzuki's muttered words. Half asleep as she was, usually they don't mean much. Onichan's the best, see? Nothing strange about it. But those words have special meaning for us now. So I was way too worried about people reading it the wrong way. But of course, Oba-san and Oji-san didn't care. They probably hadn't heard it in the first place. I returned to my spot, feeling Uzuki's weight against me as I let time pass slowly. As midnight approached, Oji-san called out to Uzuki. Uzuki, it's almost time for the new year.
やだ、まだこのままがいいよ。ちゃんとあったかいもん。
Uzuki was completely half asleep. She probably didn't even understand what she was saying. But soon our silence and attention focused on her gaze.
私なんか言ってた。恥ずかしい。
Ma, as long as we don't carry this year's embarrassment into next year. It feels like it'll stay in my memory forever. Go man. Oji-san and Uzuki. But now I've got even more material to tease her with.
そうだ。おじさん、おばさん、まだ願い書きをしてないですよね。
Negai, what's this? What's this? Oh, that's a word I never heard before. Also for me.
我が家の習慣なんです。来年はこんな年になるといいなって毎年大晦日に2文字の漢字でお願い事を書くんですよ。
Oh, I heard about this. Although I heard about like one kanji, but not like two kanjis. Huh. I live here too, but I didn't know about that custom. At first, we were doing something like a New Year's writing thing, but Uzuki-chan suggested. So, does that mean it's Uzuki's original design?
毎年やってるから伝統だもん。
Everyone gave a resmile. Well, it's kind of interesting. Makes you feel a bit more positive.
ですよね。
ですよね。
たくみさんも一緒にやってみませんか？
Since it's a traditional event, I definitely want to. And seeing as she had prepared this wish writing in advance, because Oba-san immediately brought over all the ink and tools. Everyone seemed to already know what they wanted, and their pens moved smoothly. Oji-san was the first one done writing. Even if I say it myself, this is umai. Okay, so that's the two kanji. I don't, obviously I don't, I'm using an LLM, so the kanji, there must be some stuff about kanji that I'm not too familiar with.
もうおじさんたら毎年同じ言葉じゃないですか。
Well, it's a good thing. Eating oishi tabemono makes the heart rich. That's all that matters, and not maybe some exotic delicacy next year. And this time, Oma-san announced her wish list. I'm doing easy peasy. Well, I don't understand. I don't understand kanji. I'm looking at the kanji. I'm like, I don't understand the two kanjis. If you had tons of fun, it's a great year. I wonder what kind of wish list Uzuki-chan made.
私は
The result. Kekka? It's written in a surprisingly neat handwriting on the half sheet of paper. Just 2 characters. Well, that's the thing. They're supposed to only write 2 characters.
学校生活でもプライベートでもちゃんと結果を出していきたいから
Kekka.
全力で何事にも取り組んでいきます。
Sounds like work. And since I was thinking the same as my Oji-san, and when our voices overlap, Uzuki blushed.
変かな。
You're really growing up, haven't you?
やっぱり変えます。
Without pausing, Uzuki immediately started writing another one with incredible speed.
笑顔。みんな笑顔の一年です。
There you go. Why did you have to say kekka? But this brushwork is bold and impressive.
よく考えたらあんまり可愛くなかったし。でも笑顔なら。
Ugh, so kawaii.
あ、それじゃ最後はたくみさんですよ。
Alright, what did our guy write? Uzuki peered over my shoulder. I caught a faint whiff of her sweet scent. Oh man, I don't know why. Before I continue, I just randomly remembered Hotaru for some reason. Specifically the original one. Because Makoto kept describing her scent. I just don't know why. I just remembered her. I really just remembered. I just remembered Hotaru, man. She doesn't go out of my mind. Anyway. Sweeter than French toast he made on the Christmas morning, with a vanilla-like freshness. This essentially embodies the two characters she wrote. Kekka and Egao. Oh no, what I wrote. Okay, what did we write? I wrote happiness. I hope my family, my friends, family, and the person I like, everyone can be happy. Of course, me too. Of course, me too. Yeah, yeah, huh? Yeah, that's a good word. I hope everyone has a happy year, just like Takumi said. And almost exactly as my Oji-san finished speaking, the clock and the TV chimed midnight. Happy New Year! Everyone chanted in unison.
たくみさん、今年はもっともっと一緒にいましょうね。
Uzuki whispered to me in a voice only I can hear. The year has already changed, and it's late at night. I figured we'd just crash in the living room or something for the night.
新年最初の夜を一緒に眠る。これが本当の初夜みたいな。
Wait, what? Did Oji-san and Omasa allowed Takumi-san to sleep together in the same room as Uzuki-san? What? Really? Did they just allow that? Is it? Am I? Huh? Let's continue for now. Uzuki exclaimed excitedly. That's not exactly a romantic first night. I was dumbfounded and replied like that. Yeah, this is Uzuki's room. How did I even get here? Okay, there you go. Come on, answer how this happened.
一応説明すると、変なことすると音が聞こえちゃうかもです。
If we do something weird, they might hear us out. Okay. I'm not going to, though. Maybe I'm getting a little too hyped up. What do you mean?
そうですか？っていうか、しないんですね。
He's the guy who's been doing a lot of he won't. Yosara. Yeah. Uzuki-san.
そうなんですよ。ただ、私の家に匠さんが泊まるんだなって思うと、なんだかちょっと嬉しくて。
This bullshit never happens in real life. Unless the family, you know, they've been together for so long, they just don't care anymore. But for like, this is literally their first meeting, so, you know. Her house. So over the years, Uzuki Kazuku moved from that old house where we used to live together to this one.
晴れて家族公認みたいで嬉しいな。
That's just between 兄弟.
はい。でも私はそれでも十分です。またおじさんとおばさんと匠さんが普通に話をできる日が来たことに感 感謝しないとですね。
And just gives her the permission to stay at their children's room just like that with a guy she randomly met online, quote unquote random guy. I never thought that day would come again. I bet Okasan and Otosan are happy we came here. I'm glad we're here too. The lights go out, and we each go into our own futon. Still, same room. Oh my god. When does that happen? Honestly. I mean, it happens when you've been dating for so long, but like this is the first time they meet the Kotoko parents.
匠さん。
Then, from the darkness, Uzuki's small voice echoed. Today's Takumi-san has logged off for the day.
じゃあ、お兄ちゃん。お兄ちゃんはまた大阪に帰るんだよね。
Man, she really forced the conversation by switching from Takumi-san to Ungi-san. Well, I guess so.
少しだけおじさんと話していたことが聞こえたの。そしたらそのことを思い出しちゃって。
She was aware. Wait, they had that whole conversation early on in their conversation, so she'd been listening for so long.
分かっていたけどずっと考えないようにしてた。それにどうしてかな、お兄ちゃんがずっとこっちに残ってくれるかもって漠然と根拠もないのにそう思っちゃってた。現実と向き合う勇気がなかったんだよね。
Uzuki gave a really self-depreciating smile.
安心して。匠さんが帰るときは今度こそちゃんと笑顔で見送るから。
No more. No more. I want a happy resolution to this shit, man.
それにずっとお別れってわけじゃないもんね。お休みになれば私からだって会いに行けるし。ああ、やっぱりバイトしたいな。
I know it. That was the reason why she was looking for an alubaito. I'll come see you. You don't have to push yourself with work, or I can send you a ticket.
でも
Being able to be with Uzuki, that's my happiness.
私もお兄ちゃんと一緒にいられることが幸せ。
You got a lot going on tomorrow, right? Wake me up late so early in the new year isn't a good start. Waking me up late so early in the new year isn't a good start. Guess it's time to sleep.
おやすみなさい、お兄ちゃん。
Then after a while, I could hear Uzuki's quiet breathing, but I couldn't fall asleep easily. Just because the business trip is over doesn't mean our relationship ends. But suddenly, I can feel a chill around my shoulders, and my lower back feels heavy too. What's going on?
おはようございます、匠さん。
I'm not gonna make it, guys. Wait, we haven't had the special CG yet. When am I gonna use a thumbnail? Uzuki, what are you doing? Uzuki grinned mischievously.
可愛い顔で寝てたからつい。あと、うずきじゃなくて夜空です。朝ですから、匠さんも営業再開してくださいね。
Wait, what? He has to work on the first day of New Year? What kind of... I thought they still had like... they don't have to report to work on New Year, because New Year is like... I mean, the first day of the year is like... is an actual holiday, you know? No, that's fine. But where are you going?
ここって。
Wait, what? What is this? Oh. 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 I'm down with this. If a girl you're interested in straddles your lap, what happens to that area? Well, needless to say. Plus, now that my blanket's been pulled off, and my upper body's cool, my groin's plenty warm thanks to Uzuki's heat.
たくみさんのここ、なんかすごく硬くなって、エッチな気分ですか？
This was part of her Kigaku. Uzuka said, her face flushed and sounding a bit hesitant. Nah, it's just, morning wood, you know? That's how healthy guys wake up.
朝立ち。朝立ちってすごい。
Now thanks for the I'm learning Japanese, guys. Please don't keep saying that. It makes things uncomfortable.
男の人って大変ですね。疲れても硬くなって、朝も硬くなって。私の裸を見た時は。
She's probably still picturing what she saw in the bathroom the other day. Thinking about it like that just makes me even more embarrassed. And my, well, you know, gets even bigger.
今ビクビクって。たくみさん、いたずらしないでください。
Good times. I didn't do it on purpose. I told you.
そうでした。
Well, just got up there.
どうしてそんなに焦ってるんですか？生理現象なんじゃ。もしかして。
Damn, this Yozora Takumi bullshit, you know? It just gives her an excuse to do that shit. Uzuki, Yozora-san, let's grow up. Besides, your Oba-san and Uji-san are here.
もう起きてますけど、朝は忙しくしてますよ。だから、少しくらいなら大丈夫です。
What do you mean, 大丈夫です? What's 大丈夫です?
たくみさんの意地悪のビクビク攻撃の仕返しをします。
What? No, それは、いや、それは、Uzuki pressed against my lower back, and for a fleeting moment, I felt a surge of pleasure that made me gasp.
たくみさんの可愛い声が聞けちゃいました。
This is way beyond a kid's prank. Enough, alright? Uzuki.
本当に子供だって思ってるなら、そうじゃないってこと、ちゃんと証明した方がいいですか？
Uzuki pressed even harder, this time leaning her whole body into me as she pressed her groin against my hip.
どうですか？私の体ってそんなに子供っぽいですか？
Every time Uzuki moved, the fruity scent emanating from her body stirred up a sexual excitement within me. I didn't talk about your body. I stopped Uzuki before she could press her body closer to mine again.
じゃあ何なんですか？もういっつも子供扱いして。
Uzuki puffed out her cheeks in protest, but I was like, seriously, that's my line. I was wrong, so let's just call it a night. Waking up late on New Year's Day isn't good either. Using that as my excuse, I pushed Uzuki away. Any more physical contact than this, and my reason won't hold up.
たくみさん、もしかして怒っちゃいました？
Yeah, not at all. That's definitely not true. I mean, I just got horny thinking about Uzuki, but I don't want to admit that so honestly. I guess somewhere in my head, I still thought of her as a kid, but that's not true anymore. She's not the same Uzuki as before, just a kawaii no imoto. I was reminded of that again. I managed to distract myself from the lingering vivid heat of Uzuki's body still radiating in my lap. I left the room first. Happy New Year again. Happy New Year, Takumi. Stop wall. Yeah, well, that was the case until Uzuki started messing around. I didn't say it out loud, but I sent her a look. My Imoto was nowhere to be found. Let's see some osechi. You know, okay. Ah, so good. The lavish spread of simmered dishes. Black beans, tamagoyaki, red and white marinated vegetables, pink and white fish cakes, meat rolls, and whole shrimp. It really feels like a traditional Japanese New Year. Oh, I can't wait for next year. I'm gonna get something good. For a week, I just kept eating the same thing, the same box for a week. All right, here goes. I picked up the simmered taro root with my chopsticks and put it in my mouth. The taste of my Obasan's cooking, one I shouldn't recognize, but somehow it tasted like home. Next, how about you try meat wrap dish? Hi. On my Obasan's recommendation, I ate gyoza filled with carrots and burdock root wrap in cute. Anyway. Wait, what? Why is it maybe? Is this really maybe? Maybe? Obasan smiled at me in a way that seemed to mean something. It's delicious, but I think there's another way of saying the maybe earlier, but anyway, the context is she's kind of doubting if the food didn't sit well for him or something. It's not bad, but it feels oddly raw, like an unfinished flavor. Unfinished. I get it.
けど、何ですか?
I see. So Uzuki made it after all. It's over for Uzuki, man. Uzuki shyly raised her hand.
味でやっぱり分かっちゃうんだ。おせち料理難しい。
Yeah, well, I think you're pretty good. Though, of course, she's on another level compared to my Obasan. Let's try again next year. Nah, there's no way she can catch up to my Obasan in just 1 year. Next year, you know what that means. Oh my, you're good at this. Uzuki clenched her fist tighter as if my unnecessary comment ignited her fighting spirit.
次はもう絶対にもっと上手に作ります。おばさんのと区別がつかないくらいに。
She got pumped up there. Well, Otanashi. No way, that's just impossible.
たくみさん
That's the spirit. It's great to see you so energetic in New Year's Day. My Oji-san cheerfully laughed while savoring the toso and sake. Maybe Usugi should have gone with deliciousness as her theme this year too, huh? But like Uzuki said, she changed. She used to be so quiet and shy, always holding back.
それはあの頃はなんていうかあんまり自分に自信もなくて今もそれほどですけど
I sometimes worry if I raise her right, but I'm so happy Uzuki's grown up to be such a good girl.
それはお二人のおかげです
Obasan smiles and shakes her head. I wonder if you'll keep drifting further away from us little by little. Thinking about it makes me feel a bit lonely.
そんな私まだまだ一人じゃ何もできませんそれにおばさんは私の一番の見本で 大切な家族だと思ってます。
I think of them as my precious family. Usugi, you don't have to say that. We already know. Oh, she thinks of them as precious family, not I. Seeing the three of them spend time without me somehow makes my heart feel at ease. I can honestly hope that someday I too will fit in naturally here. But still. After enjoying all the osechiriori, I waited for a good moment to bring it up. Go man. I think it's about time I headed home now. Is that so? It could always stay another night if you wanted. Oh wow, holy shit. I'd love to, but there's a lot going on around New Year. There wasn't any real rush, but I figured my Oba-san, Oji-san, and Uzuki might need some time alone together without me around. It'll take time before we're truly, completely intertwined. Maybe it's just that I'm not ready for it yet.
じゃあ途中までお見送りしてもいいですか？
Yeah, thanks.
じゃあおじさんおばさん匠さんを送っていきますね。
Be careful of cars and pedestrians. And Takumi-san, feel free to come by anytime. Hi. ありがとうございました。
匠さん、私たちに気を使ったでしょう。
A little after I left home, Uzuki pointed that out to me. Suita.
多分おじさんやおばさんにもバレてましたよ。
Uzuki thinks that much of me. Maybe I could have found a more considerate way to distance
も
myself.
しかして気詰まりでした？
That's not true. It was fun, but I'm not part of Oba-san and Oji-san's kazoku. I think we all need time just for us.
それは私たちが二人きりでデートをする時間が必要なのと同じように？
We'll go on dates and hang out again.
今からどっちも楽しみ。そうだ、何も用事がないなら商店街を歩いていきませんか？早速ですけどデートです。新年初デート。
You guys don't do Hatsumode, man? I guess not everyone does Hatsumode during New Year, I guess. Ja, how about Hatsumode? Okay, there you go. I was wondering when they're gonna do that.
今すごく混んでるかも。私はそれよりも匠さんとゆっくり過ごしたいなとか。だからもう少し歩きませんか？
Okay. She didn't want to do Hatsumode. Uzuki's puppy eyes makes it impossible for me to say no.
とこの辺りはですね。
The shopping street is apparently along my usual route to school. And Uzuki told me all sorts of things about chatting about everyday life. Sometimes buying snacks, being drawn to grown-up clothes displayed in small boutiques, and even a nickel at the fish market. It felt like she was trying to tell me that those things weren't just about her life, but also that she was a normal girl, just like anyone else.
匠さん、私の話つまらなくないですか？
Actually, it's kind of interesting. It reminds me of my school days. Now it's all work or everything related to work.
飲み会？
Nomikai, man. The absolute state. Salary, man. It's not like some amazing story or anything. Just a lot of overtime and complaining about my boss. Face to face to my boss while drinking some beer, where it's totally fine for some reason. This time, it was my turn to talk about Shikoto in the kaisha. But the more I spoke, the clearer the difference between our worlds. It felt like we were talking about completely different realities. This story is boring, I said.
むしろ興味深いですなんて。それに スーツ姿の匠さんが頑張るところが想像できて嫌いじゃない感じかもです。
I can't wait for that VN where I can't wait for the the purple soft VN that I've really been waiting for. Oh yeah, come to think of it, I could probably read the demo of they released a recent demo for a title that they're planning to release this year. I haven't pre-ordered because I don't know if I'm gonna like it or not. But anyway. But I heard the author of the new Purple Soft VN is the same guy as the one from Amamatsumi. Just that they don't have the same artist. They have a different artist this time around. What's up with that? But anyway. We got talking about our everyday lives until eventually we ran out of things to say.
匠さん、
Uzuki suddenly stopped and called out to me. どうしたの？
どこか二人っきりになれるところに行きませんか？
And do what? Huh? Just the two of us? それは
もっと匠さんと話したいし一緒にいたいです。誰の目も気にしなくていいところで。
What kind of talking over talking here? I remembered Uzuki climbing on my lap in the morning and teasing me, and suddenly I felt a rush of heat. What's she thinking? Uzuki didn't mean it that way. Yeah, but still.
どうですか、匠さん。
With a slightly nervous expression, Uzuki placed her hand over mine, cold from the chill, yet with a warmth at its core. I could feel Uzuki's heart pounding against my hand, but maybe it was just my own. Oh, choices. Why are there choices to be an asshole? Why do you select choices to be an asshole? Is this even a VN where choices matter? I don't even know, actually. It'd be funny if you keep indulging. But so far, all the choices chosen indulge with like, what happens if you try to indulge her desires? Some VNs go for like, if you keep indulging her, you end up with the opposite result because it, you know. You know what? I'm actually curious. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. It's a good thing I checked Seiya Saga. There is actually multiple endings here. Ah. Okay. And I save at the most important choice. So there are some choices that matters and there's some choices that don't. So this one, we picked up the choice. This would lead to ending 1. Okay, so we're gonna see what ending 1 is. What is the difference between the two endings? So now I'm curious. Okay, I will do this ending 1 first. So there's an ending 1. So ending 1 is what you choose to... You coming over?
匠さんのお家ですか？
Uzuki stared at me, looking utterly bewildered. If avoiding the crowd was the goal, but in the next instant, Uzuki broke into a radiant smile.
それいいですね。大晦日を私の家で、そして元旦を匠さんの部屋で。それってなんだか恋人っぽい。
I have a feeling, based on... Okay, so now I looked at the walkthrough, but based on my understanding of the walkthrough, ending 1 is where you just decide to indulge in all that stuff. And ending 2, you kind of kept it going a bit further for some reason. I don't know why, so we'll find out. We'll find out the difference between the endings. I didn't know this has multiple endings. It felt like a... It almost felt like a kinetic novel. But like, yeah, whatever. Is that how it is? Well, If she's happy, then I guess that's all that matters. For me, nothing matters more than Uzuki's egao. The company dorms were strangely quiet. Maybe everyone's out for the New Year's holiday. Coco's okay?
はい、お願いします。
Uzuki, you sound nervous. Yozara says, preparing drinks without another word. Sorry to keep you waiting. It might be a little too sweet for an adult, Yozara-san, but...
そうですね。私は大人だから。
Uzuki said that with a somewhat dubious expression as she took the cocoa. But the moment she took a sip, her face lit up with that suge look before she frantically scowled again and had to fight back I had to fight back laughter. The only sound was the quiet slurping of our drinks as a peaceful moment stretched on.
たくみさん、口の横何かついてますよ。
Uzuki told me to, so she touched around my mouth with her finger. Did you get it?
違います。そこじゃなくて。
Oh, did I get it?
仕方ないですね。
Uzuki sets her mug on the table.
私が拭いてあげますから、じっとして動かないでくださいね。いいですね。
Uzuki pressed close to me, and before I could even think, this is... Her adorable face and those vivid colored lips were right in front of mine. But even if I realized it, I was frozen like in sleep paralysis. What? Until our teeth clicked together. That hurts. You know, it's sufficient enough to have like the accidental headbutt. It really hurts. Anyway. We were thrown back, or rather, literally bounced away and covered our mouths. Luckily, the pain subsided quickly, but Uzuki was visibly dejected.
下手っぴなキスでごめんなさい。
Yeah, it's me who can't lead.
また子供って言われちゃう。
I don't really mean it. I'm just teasing you a little. Or rather, that kind of thing is kawaii. So, maybe if you're... Maybe I'm still a kid if I can't stop being mean to someone I think is kawaii.
ダメだ。
Uzuki clasped her hand together, then blushed fiercely and looked away from me.
私、たくみさんのこと好きすぎる。
That's something Our gazes tangling again, just like before. Feel. And so, words flow naturally. And with the sound of them, our feelings harmonize. Like we're perfectly in sync.
運命の相手ですからね。
And we're Kazugu, Kyodai too. It felt like a huge obstacle for us. And I guess in some ways, it really was. But so what? I like her, and she likes me. Isn't that enough in the end? I'm curious why this ending is gonna be... Anyway. I pull Uzuki close and claim her lips. A faint breath escaped Uzuki through the small gap, barely audible. I pressed my lips against hers, sealing her words away as I deepened the kiss with Uzuki. Maybe it was just a mean thing to do with such a cute girl. I parted my lips and looked straight at Uzuki. Her eyes were glistening, as beautiful and pure as the crescent moon hanging in the Yozora. Did it hurt?
ちょっとだけ。でも、もっとキスしたいです。
Yeah, this ending feels like it's the early ending where you just get to it, and that's as much as drama you get. And yeah, I realize this might be the boring ending, so I can see why there's a second ending. But let's continue. I responded in Uzuki in silence. Our lips pressed together again. Felt even hotter and wetter than before. Wanting to savor her more, I gently slid my tongue inside. Uzuki was surprised at first, but then it refused. Eventually, her tongue tentatively, slowly reached out and gently intertwined with mine. Then Uzuki shuddered, and I felt the same numbing sensation in my brain. The more I kissed her, the more we touched. The more my love for Uzuki wells up infinitely. I only managed to pull away from her lips when I realized Uzuki was struggling for breath. Gomen, I was caught up in it. Uzuki shakes her head, still panting. Uzuki.
だから夜空ですよ。ねえ、たくみさん、もっと強く抱きしめてください。それからずっと私のこと離さないでいて。
Isn't there a better way to translate this? Because, like, what the hell? Like hell I will. I think he's referring to not pulling away from her. I hugged Uzuki tightly. Her hand wrapped around my back, gripped me hard through my jacket. I wish time would stop, so this happy moment could last forever. Yet time relentlessly passed between the two of us, and before we knew it, that once clear blue sky had begun to bleed into shades of crimson. So what happened in between those two times? We talk about a lot of things, like lovers or like sibling, kyodai. Maybe not kyodai. Where do you want to go from here? What do you want to do? And what are you aiming for beyond that? The times when love, dreams, Yume, Hibo, mixed with the occasional bitters and reality like a marble pattern, were still always sweeter than any coffee I ever drank.
そろそろ帰りますね。おじさんとおばさんも心配していると思うし。
Uzuki says, lingering on the thought of her Obasan Oji-san, I wish I could stay with me all day, but I know that's not possible. Wait, that's it? It's kind of weird. They just kiss and then they just had a long ass conversation. I mean, yeah, but
また明日会えますか？
everything's fine. But I wonder if they'll get tired of me.
それはないと思うな。だって兄弟の時は毎日一緒だったもん。
Huh. When did Yozora become my kyodai?
あ、もう意地悪。
Yeah. And that face is kawaii too, as always.
ケアレスミスには目をつむるのが大人だと思います。
I run my hand through Uzuki's pouting hair. Though she resists at first, her expression slowly softens. Then, let's meet at the Ikamai around 1 p.m. tomorrow.
はーい。明日は何をしましょうか。
We'll both think about what to do.
ちょっとしたサプライズかもですね。
I walked Uzuki to the company door entrance, and she turned around quickly. Uzuki kissed me as if stealing my moment, then smirked like she won.
私からのキス、今度はうまくできました。それじゃあたくみさん、また明日。
気をつけてよ、Yozora.
夜は私の時間なので平気です。なんて。
Uzuki left the room, muttering something about Yozora and the Yoru that I couldn't quite make out. I just stood there frozen, even after the front door closed. When I'm alone, the room falls silent, as if a small light has gone out. And it feels like even the temperature drops. But the loneliness I feel now is proof that my time with Uzuki was filled with such intense happiness. The more I felt the cold of being alone, the more Uzuki's warmth seemed to envelope me. That's how it felt. Thanks to Uzuki, love and affection are all jumbled up. Maybe being Kyodai wasn't a trial at all, but the greatest gift of all. Go, man. I was thinking about like I should end now or not, but maybe I could go for a bit more. The next day, I arrived like my way earlier than planned, but Uzuki was already there, frantically bouncing with impatience, and she rushed over to me as soon as she saw me, looking so happy.
こんにちは、たくみさん。今日もお出かけ日和ですね。
I thought it was pretty early, but how long have you been waiting?
1時間前くらい？
Man, she was so excited. You're so early.
で、早く会いたかったから。それに家にいるとなんだかそわそわしちゃって、思わず飛び出してきちゃいました。
I can't help but chuckle at Uzuki's shy smile. Why didn't you just contact me?
それだと迷惑かけちゃうかもですから。それより今日はどうします？
Maybe today's finally the day we go to the Jinja for New Year.
じゃあ私、夜がいいです。
夜？どうして？
友達が言ってたんです。夜は結構雰囲気も違うからデートにもいいよって。けどうちは夜は門限があるので。でも今日はたくみさんが一緒だから。
Uzuki snuggles to my arm.
安心ですよね。
That's fine and all, but
やった
careful not to get separated.
手を握っててくれれば大丈夫じゃないですか？ギューって。
Sit with her. I had to fight the urge to hug her right then and there, but I just nodded. It's the atmosphere like at the for this Jinja for New Year.
結構賑やかですよ。お店もいっぱい出てますし、チョコバナナ、たこ焼き、それにりんご飴。あ、今年は甘酒にもチャレンジしたいな。
Always just food.
でもお酒イコール大人みたいな。
Equal. Even if it's amazake.
酔っちゃったらちゃんと介抱してくださいね。
It might not even have alcohol in it. But Uzuki is giggling like she's really enjoying herself. Well, leaning against a tipsy Uzuki wouldn't be so bad. But then what am I supposed to do until night? Karaoke. What are we supposed to do until night? Karaoke, cafes, kaimono. Those are first things that came to mind. Maybe going to a full... What is a full service facility would solve everything? What do you mean?
たくみさん、私実は行ってみたいところがありまして。
Okay, then let's go there.
でもやっぱり。
Uzuki frowned, clearly conflicted. She wanted to go, but then groaned.
行くだけ。これは今日は行ってみるだけだから。
Who are you making excuses to? By the way, where are we going?
それは着くまでの秘密です。ついてきてください。
Hi! Uzuki takes my hand and starts walking quickly. Uzuki led me from the main street to the back alley. We passed by the shop where I bought her a present before heading deeper in. Where are we even going? I mean...
ここです。
Eventually, Uzuki stopped in a tall, relatively well-maintained building. Oi. Yosara. Kono basho. I mean, could it be? The sign with its stylish English name wasn't lit up yet during the day, and somehow felt unwelcoming to us, to Uzuki. Yes, and this is a low hotel. Apparently, they're called leisure hotels or fashion hotels these days, but whatever you call them, the purpose is the same. Oi, Uzuki, I mean, it's not like I'm in any particular hurry or anything.
分かってます。何も変なことをしたりするつもりはありませんから。
They always say this shit, man, but something's gonna happen. So, is that how it is?
そうです。
Then what do you propose us to do? そっか。
今ちょっと残念がってました。急いでないって言ってたのに。
Well, that's true too.
冗談です。でも入ってみたいのは本当です。匠さんとなら OK かなって。ダメですか？
We shouldn't really be wandering around like this. Well, whatever. I mean, she is my kanojo after all. Got it. Want a break?
休憩？
This time, we walk through the hotel's automatic doors with Uzuki holding my hand.
わー、広くて綺麗な部屋。まるで高級ホテルみたいですね。高級ホテル泊まったことないですけど。
Uzuki threw her arms wide open, practically bouncing with excitement as soon as she saw the interior. Happy to see my Imoto so happy. Yeah, right. Are you satisfied?
はい、前から入ってみたかったので。
From way back.
もちろん興味本位でですよ。匠さんとじゃなかったら絶対無理です。そういう匠さんこそどうなんですか？誰かと来たことがあるんじゃないです？
I don't know. I can't really say either way. Well, never mind that for now.
ごまかしました。
I only love Uzuki.
夜空です。
Yozara, now bright red from embarrassment, frantically looks around.
なんだか暑いですね、この部屋。
No, it's not that much.
ちょっとだけ冷房入れましょうか。
Why is there a banana car in the back? Interesting hotel. With her lips trembling slightly, the flush Izzy fumbled with the remote.
ダメ。暑いよ。
A scene of a naked actress merging together flash on TV and vanish in an instant. By the way, isn't that her same voice actress? I was like, wait, that's her BA. I froze. She froze, still holding the remote when I saw Uzuki. Oh, no, I froze, still holding. Still holding the remote when I saw Uzuki. It's definitely hot.
それ、フォローになってません。
I guess so.
わざとじゃないんです。わざとじゃ。
I know. Alright. These places usually have karaoke, so let's do that.
やっぱり来たことあるんですね。
It's common sense. Common sense, I tell you. Or rather, I'm trying to distract you. To calm Uzuki down after she panicked from the unexpected shocking video, I let her sing a karaoke. She calmed right down in no time.
すごいすごい。ご飯のデリバリーとかゲーム機もありますよ。ホテルっていうよりもちょっとしたレジャー施設みたいですね。
Yeah, actually, when I think about it, anyway.
思 思ったんですけど、これなら最初からカラオケでもよかったですね。
Yeah, no, I'm just totally wiped out.
ごめんなさい。
Well, it was a good enjoyed herself, then that's all that matters to me.
夜空です。
Hi, hi. Uzuki burst into giggles, unable to stop herself at the thought of what could possibly be fun about that answer. Uzuki.
おかしかった。でも、たくみさんはすごいな。
本当に？
はい。だって私、ここに来てからずっとドキドキしっぱなしなんですよ。
And what do you propose to do about that?
でも、たくみさんは全然平気そう。さすが大人って感じ。
I'm just acting like that's how it seems.
そうなんですか？
Well, what was it this time?
お風呂見てきます。
Wow, it's huge. Looks like we can get in together without a problem. That carefree voice echoes from the bathroom.
また一緒に入ってみますか？
I'll pass. If that happens, I won't be able to stop myself this time. Seriously, how can you be so smug? Muttering that, I plop onto the big sofa, big enough for 4 people. Even so, it's a love hotel, a place for that kind of thing to happen. I say I won't do anything, but you never know what will happen. That's the kind of tension. I'm trying my best to shake off fantasies about Uzuki that keep popping into my head. A little later, Uzuki came back from the Oporo. Uzuki sat down next to me. What's this time? What is it this time? Another game?
いや、そうじゃなくて、もう一度つけてみてもいいですか？
What? What? Before I could answer, the TV suddenly turned back on. The actress moans echoed through the spacious room.
わあ、すごい。あんな顔になって。あんなところも舐めちゃうの？
Do siblings watch porn together like that? Wait a second, there might actually be. I've heard stories of that. And I'm not talking about same-sex siblings that are totally straight. Oh wait, let's not put that dimension here yet. I mean, yeah, I've heard those kinds of stories. Never mind.
あんな大きいのが本当に入るの？嘘、本当に入ってる。
Hearing my Imoto's overly graphic thoughts on AVs made me want to run away from here immediately. What is this crap? Not many siblings Seodai would pretend to be strangers named Takumi and Yosara while watching AV together with their own Imoto. I had no idea what my Imoto wants.
たくみさん、こういうところに来る人たちって、見ながらするっていうことですよね。
Ah, I guess some people are like that. I had this weird feeling like Uzuki was staring right at my crotch.
たくみさんもこういうエッチなビデオ見たりするんですか？
Another tough question. Well, I guess sometimes.
じゃあ、こういうことしてみたいとか、あんなことしてほしいとかありますよね、私に。
Damn. Huh?
って何ですか？だって私、恋人じゃないですか。だから、たくみさんがしたいことなら何だって。それともたくみさんはそういうこと、私に興味ありませんか？
Uzuki closed the distance between us. Her eyes locked onto me as I was drawn in by Miyamoto's sweet scent. There's no way that's true. I couldn't deny it, feeling both Uzuki's advance and the rising urge within me pushing me forward.
じゃあ
Uzuki looked away from me, turned her gaze to the television, where a scene showed an actress masturbating in front of an
こう
actor.
いう女の子が自分でしちゃってるシーンも好きだったりするんですよね。じゃあ今から見ますか？
You're inviting him to watch you chill off? Huh?
だから私がオナニーするところを見せたらたくみさん喜ぶのかなって。
There's no need to ask. I already know that, or so the man and the adult meetings anyway. But there's one thing I want to say. If I saw something like that, I want to be able to stop midway.
でも別に私はそれでも
Are you pushing yourself too
し
hard?
てない。
You're doing it right.
でも私はたくみさんになら
We agreed to do nothing today, right, Yozara?
そういえばそうでした。私やっぱり暑いですね。
Man, she was so down. No, we can't do it.
怒りました。
I'm not angry. Just, yeah, I need to cool off that.
冷水は風邪ひきますよ。
That's not what I meant. I laughed and said that, leaving Uzuki in the room before heading to the bathroom. Ooh, another view.
はあ、やっちゃったよ。
As soon as Oni-chan got in the opuro, I was on the sofa clutching my head, writhing in agony. The more I remember it, the more I want to erase it from my
エ
mind.
ッチな気分止められなかった。でもそっか、お兄ちゃん私のちゃんと興味あるんだ。
I'm happy. I want to erase the memory, but I also want to remember that part clearly.
いつかはお兄ちゃんの前でお兄ちゃんにお願いされてそういうことをしたりするのかな。
My fantasies won't stop. Just when I was about to get worked up again, the sound of water came from the bathroom. My Oni-chan's right here, but it's over now.
こんな気持ちじゃこのままじゃモヤモヤが止められないよ。
She might actually do it. She might just randomly jill up, man, and then Oni-chan will just come back from the bat and want to see her like that. I fucking knew it. She's gonna jill up. The moment I touched my chest with my finger, I'm thinking a sensation shot through me. Wait, what's the timestamp right now? I have to remember the timestamps for editing. I'm gonna end after this issue because I need to sleep, and I will need to do some editing before I do upload. There's a good chance I'll be uploading this tomorrow morning as it renders and I go to sleep. Anyway. I stopped abruptly, straining my ears. All I could hear from the upper bathroom was the unchanging sound of running water.
ならもう少しだけ。
Even though I'm just touching my breast through the clothes, why do I feel this way? Nah, I get why.
もう少しで私お兄ちゃんの前でオナニーしちゃうところだった。
If I thought about it like that, oh wait, this might be a better CG for today. I don't know. I'll go check my. Masturbating while trying to be quiet and patient is frustrating, but it's also exciting. They'll suddenly show up, okay? Because if you get out of the bat now, my fantasy, it might actually come true. Even as I think that, I can't stop myself at all. Am I really okay with being seen?
ちゃん、私、うずきははしたないエッチな女の子は嫌い。
In my fantasy, Oni-chan shook his head silently and intertwined himself with me. And that fantasy feels more real than usual. Ah, the scene from the AV I saw earlier.
見ちゃダメダメ、おっぱいもっと強くしてほしい。
Despite their words, their actions only escalate. I lift my clothes, gripping my breast from underneath, and simulates them tightly. Oh no, she's talking about the imaginary Uni-chan. Okay, I got it. Being grabbed in a bear hug by my Uni-chan's strong hands. The ache in my body slowly spreads slowly throughout my entire body.
さっきよりもいい。でもこれじゃまだ物足りない。だって本当のエッチならもっと。
And there's a little time before my Uni-chan gets back, so we'll be okay. I knew it was just instinct over logic, but my hands still reach between my legs anyway. The moment my fingers brushed against through the thin fabric, an unfamiliar pleasure shot through me, and I couldn't help but let out a high-pitched moan. At the same time, I heard my Oni-chan's surprised voice from the bathroom and something falling. I guess it's out now.
何か音がしたみたいですけど、どうかしましたか？
I tried to steady my voice as I heard that. Yeah, but I dropped the shampoo bottle. My brother shouted that in the bathroom.
そうですか。それならいいんです。ゆっくり温まってくださいね。
I'll let you do that. Oh, good. He didn't notice. It looks like I can keep this going. Usually, I'll be thinking about my Oni-chan coming home, but this time was a little different. I wanted to relieve that pleasure again, so I quickened the pace of my hand moving against my ushitagi.
なんでこんなに気持ちいいの？
Is this because my Oni-chan's right here, or am I just Ichi no imoto? Because I'd be nervous if he asks, or because I want my Oni-chan to see me. I don't know. It feels like everything's hitting the mark, but more than that, I feel it way stronger when we're alone together.
お兄ちゃん、そこ弁が、いや、すごい、そんなに強くこすったら。
I drag my fingers along the line. It's a little too strong, but it feels amazing all over. I can't take it anymore. I can't hold back. I already pulled down my damp panties and For a moment, I thought I heard Uzuki's moan from outside the bathroom. I dropped the shampoo bottle in my hand. Or am I just imagining it? I strained my ears, but I couldn't hear anything now.
何か音がしたみたいですけど、どうかしましたか？
Uzuki's voice came from behind the bathroom door, and it sounded strangely tense. Yeah, but I dropped the shampoo bottle.
そうですか。それならいいんです。ゆっくり温まってくださいね。
I'll let you do that. I don't know if it's just my imagination, but Uzuki's lewd voice is stuck in my head. Before I know it, my dick was rock hard and throbbing. Chin chin. At this rate, I'll never get out of the bath. still had the guts to show off my stuff in front of my Imoto. Maybe Uzuki seeing me like that might actually feel something too. Like, for example, Tatoeba, showing each other our masturbation habits like that AV we just watched and then after. Oh, he could hear her do it. Wait, that wasn't just my imagination, was it? I strained my ears, and this time Uzuki's pained voice echoed from the other side of the thin wall. So, is she really doing it? Or was that just some AV thing? There's no mistaking that voice. It's Uzuki's. Oh wait, so. Anyway, I'm definitely not getting out of the bat like this. Damn it, whatever. Relying on Uzuki's voice, which I just heard, I decided to deal with my desires. Uzuki finally came back from the bat, having taken my place in there. Did you manage to clear it up? It's nice and spacious, huh? I wish our place was that big. Uzuki hunched her shoulders and gave a wee smile. That reaction. I knew it. That thing for earlier. Then after a brief silence, Uzuki spoke hesitantly. Well, yeah, it throws you off. That's just how that place is. Well, anyway, maybe it was good that we both took baths. No, not in a weird way. I mean, like, we were able to calm down again. There's still time. The rest of it is. Maybe we watch a movie or something. I turned on the TV and started flipping the channels when the romantic movie in English came in. Though I only caught part of it. We only caught part of it. A cliche love story where a couple beset by hardship ends with a happy kiss. That kind of excitement was just what we needed right now. By the time the end credits rolled, it was completely dark outside. We paid at the kiosk and end, without a word, linked arms as we left the Love Hotel. Okay, we have a much more innocent thumbnail today. Uzuki leaned against my shoulder as we sat side by side in the Jinja's rest area. Uzuki sipping amasake from her paper cup, still steaming with a distinctive aroma. Reminds me of little Uzuki. With every breath, pure white smoke escapes her lips. I'm slurping down the amasake too. The heater's on, but it's still freezing in the dead of winter. Makes the warmth of amasake feel even better. Without waiting for my reply, Uzuki snuggled closer, and without thinking, almost reflexively, I stroked her head. Being like this makes me remember so many things. Did Okasan and Otosan ever drink amasake together like this when they were still alive? Well, Uzuki was still a little kodomo back then. I reach out, my hand just below Uzuki's head as she sits. I really shouldn't have her drink amasake yet. but Uzuki threw such a fit that I had no choice. The memories are starting to come back.
飲ませたら私何したの
When Uzuki came to ask, I deliberately just told her it was tough. Why did I let Uzuki drink sake? Otosa and Akasa were furious. Uzuki, for her part, acted like she didn't even know what I was getting yelled at and just kept begging Otosa and Okasa for tabemono from the stalls. I told her if she wanted to eat, she should just suck it up because I'm the Oni-chan. Probably never regretted being an Oni-chan as much as I did that day.
ごめんなさい
Oh, no, that's her saying something to him. I smiled at Uzuki as she apologized for something I had long since forgotten. A girl came up to me while I was sulking, holding up so much cotton candy and grilled squid in her hands. She couldn't carry it at all. She just smiled innocently and said, "Let's eat together." But I was just a kid, so I sulked and refused. Then Uzuki, what do you think she said?
と
Want me to tell you?
ダメ思い出すからちょっと待ってて
Smiling at Uzuki out of the corner of my eye, I took a sip of the sake. The warmth etched in my memory returned along with the taste of the sake.
ごめんなさい思い出せない
But it's better when we eat together, right? Wait a second. I just noticed. Remember, she had a different pendant earlier. Yeah, she has a different pendant earlier. Or is it because? No, it's a quality control thing. Because her pendant is supposed to be like moon shape. Anyway. Uzuki's eyes widened.
もっと美味しいんだもん
Uzuki happily continued my words, as if she managed to recall it on her own.
言った思い出したよお兄ちゃん
That's good to hear.
でもそれは今も同じだよお兄ちゃん匠さんとなら何だって美味しいし楽しいしそれに嬉しい
For just a moment, Uzuki had reverted to being my Imoto before she quickly slipped back to the Yozora persona. But that's just like a kid wearing a hero mask, pretending to be someone else. Everyone can see it's just them, but they're convinced they've become another person. But it's also true that playing a role like that can give you a kind of courage and drive. Thinking about it, maybe I need to love Uzuki more as Takumi, as a otoko. No matter what, our feelings are the same. Whether we're brother and sister, Takumi and Yozora, or just a nameless man and woman, it doesn't matter. I just want to be alone with you. That's all I really want. Before I knew it, Yozora snuck up and kissed me while no one was looking. Like snowflakes melting in my skin, the fleeting contact vanished in an instant, but my stomach and chest suddenly burned. And I kiss her back. Probably others will notice, but it doesn't matter. Uzuki trembled so much she almost dropped her cup of amazake, then smiled.
ずっとこのまま一緒にいられたらいいのに
Samui.
匠さんが温めてくれたらいいんです
Like amazake?
そうですでもそれじゃあ酔っちゃいますねでもたまに匠さんにも酔っちゃいそうですけど悪い意味じゃないですよ
If only we could stay like this forever. If only this moment will last forever. I'm sure. In the future, both I and Uzuki will think this way many times over. After our belated Hatsumode, we just kept walking straight to Dekimai. Okay, Yozora, be careful on your way home.
匠さんも
Even though we spent so much time together New Year's Eve, yesterday and today, maybe that's why I can't bear it. The lingering feelings piled up like snow even after saying goodbye. I just can't let go. After staring at each other for a few
少
moments,
し待っていてください。
Uzuki pulled out her ketai as if she made up her mind and dialed a
も
number.
しもし、おじさん、うずきです。はい、今、たくみさんと一緒で、
Is she going to?
今日はお家に泊めてもらうことにしました。
Huh? Wait a sec.
大丈夫です。心配しないでください。それじゃあ、おやすみなさい。
She abruptly hung up the. Then what? Let out a big sigh and finally turned back to me.
というわけです。今夜はお世話になります。
Just like that? Just like that? Usuki gave a little bow. Then, when she raised her head, there was a slightly more familiar mischievous smile on her face. By the time I got back to the company dorm from the Jinja, my body was completely frozen. Go ahead and take a bath once the water is ready. Uzuki nods obediently, almost as if she's trembling. All I can do now is boil the water in the kitchen. Prepare a warm drink if it's going to be this cold. I should have booked it. Should have booked the air conditioning. Booked? Anyway, I don't know why I use the word booked. Alright, looks like the tub's ready. I'll go first. Uzuki said as she headed to the bathroom. Alone, I sat under my bed and let out a long breath. So young, it's amazing. Wait, what the hell? I mean to sound so old, but Uzuki's forwardness always catches me by surprise. Ah, okay, that's what you meant. But is that really okay? Of course not. As an adult, as a man, I try to respond to Uzuki's feelings. I don't know, man, you've been kissing her all day long. At one point. After Uzuki, I took a bath. Then I let the New Year's special programs on in the background and just let the night pass by again. Like usual, there's only one futon.
はい、一緒で大丈夫です。
Wait, why does she have pajamas? Oh, she's always ready. Okay, fine, whatever. Uzuki replied, her voice laced with the right amount of expectation. Must be from taking a good hot bath. The heat radiating off Uzuki's body is so cozy and comforting. I could just curl up with her as a makura and fall asleep right there. So yeah, I actually hugged Uzuki from behind.
たくみさん、
This time, I won't ask for permission. With Uzuki in my arms, I silently savor her softness.
くすぐったいですよ、たくみさん。
Her bright voice and the way she clutched my hand. It was clear Uzuki was nervous. What should we do tomorrow? When I whispered right in her ear, Uzuki barely flinched. You just suddenly decided to stay over, right? It's only been 2 days and you're leaving home to spend the night at the guy's place.
ごめんなさい。でも、それはたくみさん。お兄ちゃんの部屋で、私たちは兄弟だから。
But that's not all, right? We're already dating.
そうですね。
Last time, you stayed at a friend's house. This time, it's your Oni-chan's place from New Year's Day to the 2nd.
変に思われたかな。
Think so? At least people would probably assume you have a karashi.
おばさんにはもうそう思われてるかも。
Man, they're just totally fine with it, man. Is that so?
多分浮かれてたりお泊まりとかで。
I see. Well, putting aside how things were when I was Takumi-san, I never imagined... Wait, what? Her own brother and Uzuki would stay end up like this. What? this translation? But maybe they'll find out someday. Or maybe, just maybe, they already have.
そうかな。兄弟なのに？
We've been apart for so long. Maybe we're a little too close for normal
バレ
siblings.
たら嫌。
I don't hate it, but I doubt you'll understand.
私はいいよ。だって私の好きを貫き通すってことはつまりそういうことだもんね。だから私全部覚悟してる。何があってもお兄ちゃんと一緒にいたい。せめてこのお休みの間だけでも。
Uzuki.
夜空です。
I hugged Uzuki tighter as she stubbornly insisted.
そんなにギュッとされたらもっと離れられなくなっちゃうよ。
I'm the same way. That's why I do this. But maybe you should go home at least once tomorrow. Putting our relationship aside, I don't want them to worry too much.
そうですね。ちゃんといい子にします。でもその後は。
You might crash here again if you get
大
permission.
丈夫ですよ。おじさんは私のお願いに弱いですから。
Wait, I'm confused by the last. Okay, it's I might crash here. What? You're such a bad girl, I said, ruffling Uzuki's hair. I felt guilty towards everyone else, but that paled in comparison to my feelings for her right now. All right, let's go to sleep now and head back to Oji-san's place
わ
tomorrow.
かりました。おやすみなさい、たくみさん。
Oyasumi nasai, Yozora-san. I closed my eyes while holding Uzuki. For some reason today, I wasn't swayed by lust, but for a fleeting moment, I felt like we were just kyodai again. Uzuki is definitely my kanajo, but this isn't so bad either. Before long, I could hear Uzuki's breathing as she slept. I too am drawn into sleep by that breathing, like it's lulling me to dreamland. I might call it in.
おはようございます、たくみさん。
Wait, let's give this a little bit more clicks and I'll decide from here. All right, we're gonna continue. Konnichiwa. Ohio, I mean. My brain stopped. I was about ready to give up. It was like, oh, okay, I'm awake. I woke up to a familiar chill, and there was Uzuki, her back against my blanket, draped over her. Seriously, again?
この間とは違うよ。だってほら
This time she lost the pads. She lost the pads. Definitely not. Because Uzuki isn't wearing pajama pants, just her shitagi straddling my hips. What are you doing? It's an outfit.
するのはこれからです。
Just a normal way how emotos wake up their oni-chans, by the way. Uzuki pulls my pants down, underwear and all.
遅くなりすぎちゃいましたかね。
Be okay, probably. While I was watching Oba-san, Oji-san, Uzuki whispered to me secretly. Wait, I'm a little confused. But you know what? I'm so tired. I'm just gonna give up here. We're just gonna continue again tomorrow. I still have to do some little editing here and there. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I'll see you guys on the next upload. Ciao.